Okay. All right. All right. So, what we got it going on? Mimi, can you hear me? Yeah. All right, you can hear me. All right. So, I was doing some thinking because we have a lot of conversations, a lot of things going on. And I was very curious. You know, what I'm saying, the boys versus girls. That's always a fun little competition. I think it's a pretty fun competition. You know what I'm saying? Some people probably got up and got some morning coffee. Some people probably got up and got some morning wood. It all depends on. And you know what I'm saying? You looking extra fresh today, as always. Um, I got to. So we definitely got to do this one. Hashtag BBN. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure I drop that in, but I will be doing a reveal of that show today. But I definitely want to start it off because literally, we got a lot of things going on. So can everybody hear? Can y'all hear Mimi? All right. So we got Mimi here. We got myself. We got a friendly little conversation going on. Don't worry. We'll be the coffee for y'all. So we have this thing going about happening where we got to ask the question. Because a lot of men and a lot of women, there's this coin phrase about making kids, making babies. And I want to know, what I'm saying, but I feel like that's an honest question uh, about, making babies. So which one is more potent? And I got to ask Mimi, have you ever heard of I want you to have my baby? Are there any other terms or phrases that guys like to use or, something? I don't know. What are some phrases guys like to use? I want you to have my baby. Um, what's some other stuff? Girl, you mine. That's it. That's all. That's all the man got to say. All right. So they just say, "I want you to have my baby." And what's going on, B Dub? If they're into you, so if a guy's into you, he'll tell you he wants you to have a baby. Oh, okay. She got some childbearing hips. That's a phrase. Then again, I do say that. I have said it before. I'm very well. You know what I'm saying. I'm like, damn girl. Like I could see you in my future. You know what I'm saying. I use some like Case Dojo. Somebody says I'm not pulling out. Um, Now for females, let me tell you what I hear women say to us fellas. Um, I want to have your baby. Um, I can see you as daddy. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be my baby daddy. That shit turned me on. Um, I like all that damn fuck. I like all that sloppy stuff. Like, put a baby in me. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I like. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff I like. You know what I'm saying? What's some stuff that females like telling brothers? Put a baby up in me. Um, let's see. What else is some good stuff that they will tell a female? Dang it, it's like now we don't know. Um, you know what? That dick is mine. Um, don't pull out. I want to plant some seeds. It's all that good shit. Now, those are the some of the terms. Um, let's see if he. But I know we know a lot of terms. It'd be hard to pull out, boy. When they say, yeah, exactly. When they say those things in your ear, when they wrap them legs around you, you know you done. You know you done. I'm not gonna lie and say my pullout game is good. Shit, I done failed many missions. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie on my. I'm not gonna lie on me. I ain't gonna lie on me. I know what I was saying. I said all kind of devious stuff before we walk down that aisle. So we got to get into it because we want to have this talk because we're hearing a lot about people saying, talking about, families and babies and the woman set me up or that dude set me up. But let's get into the thicket of things. I had to grab the manager. I had to grab her because I said, yo, I need help with this one. This is going to be a good one. So, Mimi, why is it that a lot of women feel some kind of connection about that? I want to have your baby. I want you to have my baby. Is it really?
Whoever, not no regular down off the street or some shit. If they see that, you knocking a lot of ladies, you driving a nice little whip, you carry yourself in a certain type of way, of course, you're gonna have a lot of females sitting up saying, oh, I need to have that, I need to get that, I can have this baby. You see a lot of athletes and things like that, a lot of men of wealth um, who carry themselves, like I said, in that type of way. Of course, you're gonna have a lot of ladies after you.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. This was kind of like my anthem. I'm gonna see if y'all remember this song. This is a little bit of a '90s. Would it be a '90s throwback? I don't know. Let me see how y'all feel about this song. I know you remember this. Let me see if y'all remember this song. This is an old song right here. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When 50 Cent made that damn song, "Have a Baby by Me, Dear Millionaire," that was my goddamn Batman signal. Now, I couldn't say "Have a baby by me, be a millionaire." I said "Have a baby by me." You might get what I'm saying, like, shit. What can I offer you? God damn it, I don't know. 50 Cent, you done sold us a goddamn dream, nigga. Like, damn well we couldn't sing that song. We know we couldn't play that song. Like you damn sure couldn't play that song. But nevertheless, we can't lie and say that people were not doggone selling some type of dream where if you have a baby by me, be a millionaire. That was a dream. Some girls were being sold. If you have a baby by me, you might be a millionaire someday. I don't know what day that might be, but we know someday you might be a millionaire. Will you promise anything by any men if you have their baby? What will you promise? I know some of y'all will promise some stuff. Ladies, put in the chat what will you promise if you have a man's baby? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. You saying some men said if you have their baby, they'll take care of you. That's a lie. Ain't no damn man gonna say that. You said a man told you if you have my baby, I'm gonna take care of you. So why? Oh, wait. So you went into a contract not knowing?
No,
That's how I got you. Girl, don't hit me there. Don't hit me there. Don't hit me there. Okay. So you're saying, let me get this straight. Females are being told they can't because we know us fellas can't say have a baby by me, you'll be a millionaire. We damn sure know we ain't say we all can't sing that anthem. But you know what I'm saying. But we can say if you have a baby by me, I'll take care of you. So hold on. So y'all, so wait, okay, because I'm gonna tell you this. What? Now I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna think this is some sick shit. But nothing turns me on more than knowing that I done knocked. Some dudes have a sick fetish that we like knowing that we knocked up that chick. That it's kind of like a claiming territory type of thing for men. I don't know if y'all, maybe I'm wrong about this, but a lot of dudes when we knock up a female, it's kind of like Jurassic Park. It's like we already claimed that territory. That's our, yeah, that's my baby mama. Yes, nigga, you already know. I've been up in her guts. She knows it. I'm hers. You know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, if she called me, hey, I need you to come pick up Kane. Damn, girl, like, what the fuck? Like, shit, like, I'm with my boys. Like, hold on now. Oh, but you claim me, but you don't want to maintain. Oh, okay. Hold on now. Hold on. I do claim you. I claim you and Kane. But, right now, I'm also trying to maintain this image. Now, for the fellas, we have it a little bit different. Females will say, I want to have your baby. I'm gonna take care of you. Now, y'all gonna say, man, that's some weak shit. Bullshit. When a man see a girl making him some macaroni and cheese, ramen noodles, doggone, shuffling my damn Sega Genesis games and shit, doggone, making sure I'm good, making sure my clothes are ironed and fresh and stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, dog. You know what I'm talking about, young lady, before we hit, you know what I'm saying? We looking at that like, damn, who's this girl? You know what I'm saying? I like when my girl go out with her pretty toes and shit. Going out there looking fly and cute, her little flat booty. You know. Let's go punch me the shit. Y'all, I already know I'm going on the couch tonight. I already know my fate. Yeah, I done accepted that. But the thing about it, we can't ignore that usually dudes know. Dudes already have it. We do know, like, once we start hearing a few things that looking at some motherly traits, we doggone get doggone tunnel vision on blowing out her guts. You know what I'm saying? Women choose. Now, B-Dub, hold that, B-Dub, because we're saying women choose. But I also want to challenge and say men choose also. I also got a challenge to say men can choose also, because men, we do choose our baby mothers. Men do choose their baby mothers. We do. I can't pretend to say that I did not choose who I want to stroke up. I knew what I was getting into with Mimi. I knew that shit. Ain't nobody tricked my penis. I knew damn well what I was doing. I didn't try once. I tried one time, two times, three times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Shit, I learned. I mean, we were having sex all over the couch, the stairs, the hallway. We was everywhere. God damn it, shit. Take a break, watch a movie, go right back at it. Shit, we were trying. I thought we were trying to compete for the Olympics. We choose. But I got a question. Which one has been reigning more powerful lately? That's the question, because when we look at this, we have to ask the question that a lot of people are afraid to get into. Did you knowingly use that phrase to get your girl? And ladies, did he use that one phrase to doggone swap you up? Because we know, I mean, I get it. Women sometimes choose a man out of, well, you offered me the deal of protection. So, in service of protection, I'll give you a box. I'll trade in my free card for that. Fellas, now what do you think? What do you think about the fellas? Why do you think that they give you the seed? What do you think they do that for? You know what? I want to say this. I remember at a time, brothers were out there running the streets so much that to know that they had somebody else like them in the world, if they were to die, they know that they left something behind. Does that sound crazy? That if I were to die, I know I left behind a legacy. But I'm dead ass serious. Niggas would make babies because they knew, damn it, if I die, oh well, I got a baby out there. Look at a lot of these dudes. Men leave behind seeds sometimes for legacy. It's true. We leave behind seeds for legacy. So that way, if something were to happen, we can say, well, shit, at least I know I got a seed out there. I'm dead ass. Does that sound too crazy? But I don't think women don't think about legacy how men do. No, what do you? Okay, just think about it. Do you think does men think about legacy that if I die, there's somebody like we get this profound ego to knowing that there are likenesses of me out there. There's a profound ego to knowing that you may hate me, but whatever you do, that little thing on the ground, that little thing crawling on the ground, screaming and hollering, that's me. That no matter what, they cannot deny my existence. So that's why some women get angry when they see that baby. When they see that baby, and what's the first thing a woman will tell her child? Damn, you just like your daddy. God damn. Well, I mean, not everything fucked good or bad. Don't remind that child you just like your daddy. Shit, I know my mom told me that damn thing like I was the scourge. I'm like, damn, was he good? Was that bad? I gotta hold on. I need context with those words. Because I'm trying to figure out because we tell our kids these things because this is stuff not you gotta understand this is stuff even predained what all men try to leave behind legacy. Women carry legacy, men leave legacy. Uh-oh. That's some dimes, dog. That's some dimes. Women carry the legacy. They have to maintain the legacy. Men leave behind a legacy. We got to ask the question because ultimately we have it now. We have it now where because I can't. I got to be honest now. I'm hearing females now telling dudes, "I want to have your baby." Do you think that's something like what do you feel on that one? Like, are these dudes making these contracts that they can't really keep, or these females signing up for a contract that they're not really ready for? What's your words on that? The second one? What's your go on the way? Why wait, hold on now? Why you saying something? So okay, so why you say bragging right? You saying so men are just saying they're gonna get up in a woman's guts just for the bragging right. But wouldn't that okay? So if I make a baby out of that woman, if I make a baby out of that woman and she's off the market, just say that's see now that's okay. Hmm. But hold on, so but aren't women now taking back and playing the game now where
Okay. If some of them know that they are baller, you were considered a baller if one, you had money, if you was an athlete, if you was just really wealthy, if you was a player, you know, type of status, it did not matter. you held yourself in that type of way, the women were attracted to it, and then you said, you know what, this is my way. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some and give me some dollars. So that's what it was. That's why they said, oh, it's trap me, or you're trying to trap me, or you're trying to do that, poke holes in the condom. A lot of them were trying to just like that. And the best way to do it was, hey, you know what? You can't really get rid of a baby. That's not something you can have.
You're right about that. Now, I cannot get mad at you on that one, Mimi. You cannot. Listen, you can fuck me over if you want. I've heard some of my cousins say that you can fuck me over if you want, but at the first and the 15th, nigga, you gonna have my check, or I'm calling your PO. And I'm like, God damn. Now, everybody likes to think, and I gotta ask a question, Mimi. Everybody likes to think that only the lower class black man does this. Is this only just the lower class black man that does this, or is this like a higher echelon? Which one goes around and does this more? Like, is this the dude that thinks he can get away with it inside the black community, or the guy who's like, I got money, you know what I'm saying? I got a fresh white tee, some nice goddamn high tops. Back in the day it was Adidas and Felines for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still rock my Reebok.
I think it was both. Both the ugly, unattractive, not so wealthy, they still wanted to say, hey, you know what, I had that, if they were lucky enough to even get that. But obviously,
Wait, so the ugly dudes were getting pussy too?
If they were lucky enough to get that.
Hey, that mean they had to make up with that with money. They had to make up.
But it was more those who were wealthy. Those who, like I said, who carried themselves in a certain way.
So females knowingly knew that a guy could doggone get in their guts, make a baby, and doggone bail out. And so they understood the game that, you know what, I gotta play it back. When this nigga make this baby, he gonna have to bring me up too. Is that fair to say?
Well, I mean,
but I got a question. Can we get mad at the women if they play that game? No, I'm just asking a fair question. Can you honestly get mad at the woman for playing that game?
I mean, if you know, first of all, if you know the type of man, if you know that he gets around a lot, you know he likes to dibble and dabble in just about any and everything or any and everyone, then you're gonna go ahead and, I guess, still try to get it in where you can fit in. Like I said, for a female. Oh, I know. What's a good
name? We can't use no real names. we can't use real names. We damn sure don't need them problems again. Lord, no, we don't need them problems.
I will say, like Travis. I don't know. I'm not saying any a Travis that I know, but I'm just using the name.
We'll use Travis. He knows who he is.
Travis, he got some money. He got a nice little whip or whatever. He done slid in quite a few women or whatever. And a female, like I said, who really doesn't have too much, doesn't look like she's trying to have too much, and she sees, oh, that's a fine piece of meat right there. I think I might want to have that. She's not so much looking at you like, oh, I really got to have that. She's looking at, okay, this nigga's dollar signs.
Okay, pause. You saying women mark the dude?
Pretty much.
Oh, shit. That's on some predator shit.
How, though? I don't understand.
No, man, that's some alien. That's some predator shit.
What do you think? What do you call them? Monkeys and shit be doing. What do you think they do?
I thought they love us.
Right.
They love us.
I know you lying.
I'm not lying. I know they love us.
Please.
So
all people and women backstage and junk. If they feel like, hey, you know what? I can get at have his spot or whatever, and I can get pregnant by him, then that's a done deal. They're taken care of.
So okay. So let me get this straight. Because okay, I'm gonna show you the antithesis on my side. Dudes like to share for whatever reason their doggone resume card about all the females we smashed through. And in the back of our head, because there's no honor among thieves, we will tell each other, well, yeah, shit, you got, I mean, it ain't hard to get Takesha or Brianna. You know what I'm saying? You know, you do this and that. Like I mean, I'm telling you right now, dog, the minute you clock in at work, you better listen, man. I made it my business. I learned the hard way. Don't ever be friends with a nigga with no job. Don't ever be friends with a nigga with no job. Fellas, I'm telling you right now. Don't be friends with no nigga with no job. Because when you going to work, that nigga is trying to punch in the clock, trying to get into your house. Hey, you know what I'm saying? No, BMT told me to come by and pick up this PlayStation game. The devil's a fucking lie. Nigga, I ain't sharing my game with y'all. I'm trying to let y'all know. They will be trying to clock in, trying to holler at doggone some shit that you got going on. So, you know, I'll be trying to clock in at Sonics and shit, flip them goddamn burgers and sell them dime bags of weed and shit. Mimi calling. Hey, Tony at our house trying to play Xbox. Fuck, Tony at my house. Tony, what you doing that now? Hey man, I'm just over here chilling out, dog. You know what I'm saying? Mimi, why Tony trying to come at the house? Oh, he just want to play Xbox. Tony, get the fuck out of my house, dog. Nah, man, I'm just over here. You know what I'm saying? We already know. We know. I'm just saying, Tony, you know you ain't shit for trying to go up in Mikisha's house. You know damn well her man was gonna get out next week. So your ass definitely gonna burn in hell, nigga. We all know that baby is not goddamn Tony's goddamn Marquell's baby. So you already know you got a special place in hell. So back to what I was saying. So doggone, y'all, that's a message I'm just teaching y'all. Fellas, don't be friends with no nigga that don't got no job. You don't be friends with that nigga. Don't ever let that nigga know when you go to work. But I promise you, he gonna want to punch in at your doggone workstation called your house. Niggas are grimy like that. I'm just letting y'all know. So what would happen is females are now looking at it like, yo, you know what? I'm going to make this come up off this nigga. Because doggone, you offered me a come up. And I can't lie because that's how I got my family. Most women, for the most part, they will talk to a guy that literally is saying, hey, you want to come up together? And I gotta be for real, as we should. Woman, you dumb if you talking to a dude that ain't trying to bring you up. That's dumb to me. Why are you talking to a dude that ain't trying to bring you up? Now, I'm trying to tell you how a lot of women think now. Women will bump with you if they know that you're trying to bring them up to another level. That's how it was for me and Mimi. I saw something in her, and I said, yo, we're going to ride together. Was what it was. Now, other females are like, I don't need you. Just give me the money. Now, some dudes don't like that because they're being told, wait, you don't want me? You just want my money? And they feel a certain type of way about that. I don't know why, because you know it is what it is. Females these days now know that they don't need the man to doggone make the come up or the baby. They choosing to deal with you if they want. So what's happening is the coin term, I want you to have my baby, is now starting to be looked at on a case-by-case basis. You got to call it for what it is, man. You got to call it for what it is. Now, the female, because I want you to have my baby, the broke nigga can't say that no more. Can he? The broke nigga can't say that. See, back in the day, any dude can say, I want you to have my baby. Kane can say that. Doug can say that. Third War can say that. Any nigga in the chat, we can say, I want you to have my baby. The female knew, well, shit. I mean, damn, I don't have the same options like him. So, damn, that baby being attached to him, that's my come up. But now, I can get it in the mud like him. I don't need that nigga. Fuck you and your baby. So the only person that could really use that term, I want you to have my baby, is a nigga with bread. Am I lying? I mean, let me know if I'm off code. It's a dude, the dude who got damn bread, he can tell and command that I want you to have my baby, activate. Ain't no damn woman gonna listen to no broke nigga say, I want you to have my baby. So I'm like, nigga, who are you? Tax season ain't until goddamn February. Nigga, you ain't nobody. Now, let's look at the next term. I wanna have your baby. Can a woman say that today and still have power like that?
Yeah. Because you still see it going on. How many niggas is, especially with strippers, like those seem to be the ones right there. Every time you turn around, there's a woman pregnant, a stripper pregnant. And I mean, she could clap a cheek in front of your face, throw a titty here or there, or something like that. If she looked right, you willing to go for it, then that's it.
G code for life, dog.
But then you getting mad at her, or you getting mad at the situation. But hey, didn't nobody tell you fall for that?
Hold on, pause. You know damn well, if a woman tells a man, I want to have your baby, you saying that men don't have the power to tell these broads no.
I'm saying you got to, but a lot of y'all fall for that.
All right, please speak your mind. You're amongst the council.
I should have made it very clear on confessions. The nigga said he was lost in the sauce.
You got my confession. Man, dog, Usher done failed all of us, bro. I was like, Usher, dog, not you, Usher. Don't say that. Usher. I said, how did that older woman, mind you, wasn't she an older woman? Yep. Who Usher, the woman that she had a baby with? That old cougar pussy boy. That damn shit is some damn mystical demonic stuff, man. It will have you fucked up and running out there all looking crazy. I was Usher, bro. All the women, and you done how Usher? You know what I'm saying? Like, so are you saying that women have the mouthpiece to command when they want to have a baby? Like, if they said, does it have more power than a man saying, I want you to have my baby? Because honestly, if we talking about it, then that would you technically that would mean the woman has more power now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just
when you in it, yeah, I guess so. Like I said, that was my prime example. He said he was lost in the sauce,
and that was Usher, boy. Usher was getting drawn back then.
So, I mean,
if we had to have a poll race between Usher and Usher, here's the top two kings that were fighting for R&B. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. It was Usher and R. Kelly. Them two niggas were battling it out. Who else could we say was out there doggone throwing out them bars like that?
well, I mean,
Man, Future ain't no damn R&B singer.
I'm not saying R&B singer, but
Okay, let's talk about some dudes who we knew if they were singing, they could sing a woman out of her draw. We ain't talking about Tank. Did Tank do that?
Yeah. A lot of women want things, baby. I don't know if he even got kids out there.
Tank got kids. Tank got kids. Who else was doing that shit? Like Tank had baby.
Yeah. Chris Brown, definitely.
Chris Brown. Nobody was getting Chris Brown no play like that.
Chris Brown.
There's that light skin shit. That light skin nigga shit is powerful. I ain't gonna lie. That light skin nigga shit is strong.
Point being is quite a few of them out there.
Who else are some people? I mean, they have some. Who's some nigga that you knew? If they say have my baby, most of the time women were just doing it. Like they just gave that nigga a baby.
Well, for that matter, it was any nigga that can sing.
Damn. I can sing pretty good in a gospel choir. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now. When them girls heard me sing them gospel hymns, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know, back in the day when I was a young nigga with them Jerry curl sweats, boy. Yeah. Boy, y'all girls was screwed, boy. I don't care what y'all said. My grandma said I was a cute baby. My grandma said it, then it was true. So we already know. So if you was a nigga that could sing gospel, or you know, that's my category, or doggone, you were pretty much what kind of nigga? You had to be now we're not gonna use colorism. I don't want to use colorism because that would be unfair. But I will say, because we saw a lot of dark-skinned niggas, the 90s was the year of the dark-skinned nigga. The 90s was the year of the dark-skinned nigga. Because doggone it, we were doing the damn thing, dropping songs, getting draws, and doggone it, we had R. Kelly. But R. Kelly kind of is a dark-skinned nigga. He brown. So we won. So no matter what y'all light-skinned niggas say, we done won. We won that. R. Kelly solidified that. I mean, I don't care what y'all say about his damn past, but no matter what, you still can't take the man's skill. So, shit, that man was singing about being in the closet. God damn it, that was classic. All right, so we already done 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead. We can go ahead and open up the panel. You know what I'm saying, about this verbiage of stuff going on. Me and Mimi are willing to talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it respectful to the BMT morning show. We have some of the BBN co-hosts. They're down there to chat, just chilling, rocking out. We have our admins in there. You guys make sure we're having fun this morning. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get the manager to actually want to come step in the booth with me. You know, she don't want to be on camera because of her hair. You know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. But you know, you gotta respect women's hair. You know, huh? Y'all. I'm just saying. You see how I'm protecting. I listen. I say, okay, your hair. You know what I'm saying. You know, I get it. You don't want to showcase that kind of hair. So, all right, cool. Now, we have Brother Speak. Y'all can come on up. Let me go ahead and tap that in. Whoop. What's going on, Brother Speak? Welcome to the BMT Morning Show, brought to you by the BBN Network. So, what's going on, man?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Hi, Mrs. BMT.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, what do you think about it? We have it where this came up about doggone the fella's Cornish term, I want you to have my baby, versus female's Cornish term, I want to have your baby. And we're looking at it at the tenure, the longevity, which one has more power these days, all that. Especially, you know, how's it been working out? So let's get.
Well, I would say I want to have your baby will be more powerful because any
Mm,
chick can say it and dude be with it. Just to be doing it. Meanwhile, the other way, like somebody said in the chat, it depends on the dude, really.
mm,
How depends on his looks, money, status. I mean, I know people say, well, broke dudes can't do that. No, it depends on how good that dude looks. Because my
mm,
brother was broke and he was having babies. So
mm.
with the guy, just an average guy can't tell a chick that, hey, I want you to have my baby. It's got to be a specific guy. Meanwhile, a woman can say, I want to have your baby, and any guy will bust up in her. I mean,
Okay.
because hey, we see ugly chicks with babies too.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. I be,
There's a lot of them.
I, I be, I'm like, who got this pregnant? I'd be wanting to slap that dude. Like, come on, dude. This don't even make sense over here.
Now the thing about it is, why is it that the woman now? So if that's being said, it was true. Would that mean that the women have more power than the men now when it comes to the command of baby making?
Yeah, I would say that because look, she can choose. She could have your baby.
But as a man, now hold on. Now I gotta ask the question: can't the men choose? Can't we choose? But I thought we always had the choice to choose who our baby mother, how our baby mothers want it to be.
We
You
do,
got come on, brother, speak.
but unfortunately, we don't exercise that because you know how dudes are. They weak for a vagina, and they want that ego boost. That yeah, I knocked this chick up. So
Mm.
that's
So
that.
it's an ego thing.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, not for me because the only woman that I wanted to have my baby was my ex-wife. That's the only one. Every other people, no, I don't. I don't know you like that. The condom stays on, and luckily, the women that I dealt with, besides my ex, hey, they wanted me to have the condom on. So it was a win-win for both of us.
I wish women told me to put on a condom. I wish women told me to do that.
Well, BMT, you had the charm, so you know.
I
Hey,
ain't. Nigga, have you seen me? Shit. I'm surprised that I got some of these. Listen, man.
come on,
Many
BMT.
days I prayed to the Lord God. I said, how, Lord, did I get lucky? I look over and I said, I made some pretty damn kids. I feel like the universe must be equaling it out with ugly people. If I made a baby, I said, damn, universe must be equaled out. But I want to say this. Um, and I see I clown on myself because um I believe in confidence. I believe in confidence, brother. You are a smart man. Shit, you probably one of the smartest brothers I know. Um, I think women are drawn to a certain type of confidence, and that they see like, well, damn, this guy, he could probably take me to the next level, and doggone, bring me up. Um, I don't know if fellas feel, but you like brothers, you gotta work with me. Come on now, you gotta come on now. Us brothers, we were choosing these women who we wanted to knock up, or we never were choosing these women. Like we had to be choosing women, or like they always been choosing. Or we just saying that nowadays the women, but I feel like fellas feel that because women have options, that's why the dudes feel like the women don't have to fucking put up with us no more. That's what I think. Women now have the option to choose if they want to put up with us. And I think some dudes don't like that. That's what I think. Some fellas don't like it because women can now choose they want to deal with the woman now. If the women want to deal with them, now they got to pay a certain fee to play. What's your say to that? But that's what I'm starting to think. Because back in the day, if I had the money, I could come up to goddamn, come up and the women didn't have all them damn options. Or is that overthinking something?
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, they can choose who they want to. They can choose who they want to have a baby by, who they want to sleep with, because, like you said, if if it goes wrong, they got the financial options to go child support, have some other dude take care of her. I mean, women always got the money options. It doesn't really matter how they look, because if they get pregnant, there's always child support. If they get pregnant, welfare. I mean, so they have the options. Guys, really, unless you're at a certain level, looks wise, charisma wise, money wise, status wise, most average guys don't have many options as far as women. We don't have that. We don't have that many options. So yeah, I think that, especially now, one of the biggest tragedies is when the guys who was getting all the vagina met with the guys who weren't getting, either not getting any or had to go through a whole bunch of hoops to get the vagina. When they started conversating, that's when you saw the rise of these guys getting angry about that, because they like, wait a minute, he got it for nothing, and I had to take her on dates with the hope I might get it and still won't get it. Yeah, that gets guys angry. Add to that, you had the women out here complaining about getting knocked up by the guys that they choosing, but they blaming all the men and expect the guys who were chosen last to pick up the tab, so to speak. So,
What you think about that, Mimi? Okay, we were joined here by Jay, the queen of Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm drinking my coffee now.
Look at you.
I can't stay long. So if this is gonna be an 11-hour show, I'm just letting you know. I'm not gonna be.
Hey, I'm getting it out the way, girl.
I do have a question, and that's really the main reason I came up, and I can't seem to ever get an answer for it.
Go ahead.
Do condoms feel different?
Depending on the condom.
Because for the woman, it doesn't feel no different. So when dudes, I've heard so many men say, "Oh, the woman said they don't like condom." That's BS. Because as a woman, listen. I've been on this earth for quite some time, and I've had some bald-headed hoe days. Condoms don't feel no different to the woman. So I can tell you that if a woman tells you that, it's a lie. But I do want to know, like, how different does it feel to men? Like, are y'all just getting the clinic condoms, or are y'all going to spend the $5? Because $5 for a box of condom of good, or $10 for a good box of condoms is cheaper than the child support that y'all complain about so much. So I'm just curious about
that. I would say it depends on the condom, really.
So in other words, what you're saying is, if you invest in a good condom, so to speak, then you wouldn't have those kind of problems.
Yeah, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the condom. They got some that literally you wouldn't even know they're on.
It's a dumb question, but you got 2 kids from a woman you didn't marry. Shut the fuck up, David. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, but it depends on the condom. I'm like, if you're getting the cheap condoms, yeah, you can feel it feels totally different than.
Now let's ask another female. Let's ask another female. Mimi. Does it? Is there a difference between feeling a condom or no condom?
I think it might be a little different, only because just depending if you have like an allergic reaction or something, it just might not feel comfortable to the female. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you, Jay, but I'm just saying it depends.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, I don't really think there's a difference like that.
Lies.
Especially if she wet. It's not gonna be different.
Right, exactly.
Nah,
Exactly. If you
there's
doing
a
your
difference.
job as a man, then if she wet and got everything going on, then it shouldn't be an issue. And David, this is gonna be the last time I
I
address you.
rebuke
The
this
abortion
feminism
rate
on my
over
panel today.
the abortion rate overall is down
Oh, here we
immensely.
go.
Hence the
Feminism.
reason why the Supreme Court is trying to reverse it. But again, check your facts, because I'm not going to do this with you today. It's early. I haven't eaten yet, and I still got my coffee, so you bound to get cussed the fuck out. Go
Spirit of
ahead.
Margaret Sanger here. Is the spirit of Margaret Sanger here?
Nah, but it
Okay.
does feel different. It does feel different with a condom and no condom. Y'all got to be honest with this, yo. Cause
I mean, are you
when you're
getting the
using,
Planned Parenthood condoms, or are you getting
no,
like
I don't.
the ones
No,
that cost like
I only mess with
$15?
magnums. I only mess with magnums.
You know what? And that's a lot. And not you. I'm not saying you personally, but that's bull. You know, that's a marketing campaign, right? Magnum condoms are actually the same size as regular Trojans.
No, I'm not saying it to say that my shit is bigger than other dudes' shit. I'm just saying Magnum.
Hey, but I will say that
Magnums
when
is
somebody
a better.
put
Magnums is a better condom overall than the rest of them. It pop.
that
It
is
Okay,
doesn't
true.
pop
fair
as
point.
much.
Fair point.
That
It
is
doesn't
true.
pop.
But
It
a
doesn't
lot of
pop.
dudes,
It doesn't pop like them other joints. It's just a
okay,
better condom.
a lot of dudes wear Magnum condoms, and they probably really need medium. But
Let me go ahead
Right.
to my love, my wisdom. She's the heart of my soul. A wisdom.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Good
Welcome to
morning.
the
good
Good
morning
morning.
morning,
show.
lovely and stuff.
Yes, good morning. I do agree. I do agree with Jen and Miss BMT. It depends. There's some women that are allergic to latex. And there's some that's allergic to lambskin. So
I'm
you
allergic.
gotta you gotta be
They still make
careful.
lambskin condoms.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I
Lambskin,
actually
like,
saw
come
Yeah,
some
on.
at
no,
the Indian store.
they still do.
Lambskin is like sandpaper.
Yeah, but they still make it though. They
I
still,
like buying Tiger. I buy Tiger.
they
Tiger.
still make them. But
You know what?
you know,
Goodbye, Joe.
but you know what though? But I mean, in all seriousness, though, I agree with Jen. Like, if you invest in a good condom, you shouldn't have a problem. They have condoms out here where it feels as though you don't even have nothing on. I mean, we're talking about protection to prevent, these children we have. Like, use the protection, because some of these dudes really think they porn stars. Like, if you're not like a Byron Long or Rock the Legend, where you can
I'm
come
more like a
on
Marcus.
cue, you know what? You're not like a, if
That's
you're not
my
like
So
theory.
damn
a,
Hey,
annoying.
No, I'm just
you,
I
saying.
will.
I'm just
Like,
saying, like, if you're not like a Mr. Marcus where you can like come on cue, then like put the damn condom on. Like, I don't get it.
nine times
Well,
winning.
people think their pullout game is 100%, and
Now,
some of these dudes, no,
Some of these
now
dudes,
we gotta
It's
ask the
not.
women this. We gotta ask the women this question.
But you can get pregnant from pre-cum. That's the thing. You can
I
get
was just
pregnant
about to
from
say that.
pre-cum.
that's true.
Right.
That's true as
Yeah.
well.
yeah,
So we gotta
but
ask the
people are
women this
ignorant about
question.
that.
Y'all been listening, ladies.
Mm?
Which one have y'all heard that from a fella? I want you to have my baby. Has that been a pickup pointed term? They have tried to whisper in your ear. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Playing that Maxwell song,
yeah.
and all that good. So Casey and JoJo, that's I still got the tape in my car. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I mean, I didn't get
For
sung "Have a
me,
Baby" by
it's
me.
been yeah. For me, it's been because I have light eyes. Like ever since
They got
high
you.
school, I always got that. I want to have right. I want to have a baby by you so they can have light eyes. Just to let you
God
know, my
damn.
daughter does not have light eyes. Um, but because it is a recessive gene.
Well,
And
keep
well, that's
trying,
another
Jay.
conversation about why. No, it's a recessive gene, so my kids won't have probably unless
Just keep
maybe I
trying.
had a kid with a guy that had light eyes. I'm 40. Listen, I will be 42 next month. I ain't trying nothing. The end is I could see the rainbow. No, the
Crazy,
factory is closed. Anyway,
crazy.
like I
Okay,
said, but
so
I've gotten that a lot only based off the fact just because I have light eyes. So I've heard
now,
that like hundreds of times. Anyway, go
but
ahead.
but we gotta ask the fellas. Y'all can't ask me, but I already done my helicopter done crashed. Y'all fellas, do women do women already do women the women saying I want to have your baby, is that more powerful than how we were able to say I want you to have I want you to have my baby? Is the woman's term more powerful than what we would say? I want to know.
Me personally, that's a red flag.
That's a red
Me
flag.
personally,
Now,
that's a
why would
red
that be a red
flag
flag to you, Kay?
Damn.
Damn, that's a red flag. I don't know. How
because
that's a red flag.
that's especially if that's not a chick that you choosing to have kids
Hmm.
with. For a girl just to tell you that, that's like a setup. That's like a setup. That's basically like a setup for a dude. For a
Mm.
woman to just tell you that, and
Mm.
especially if you're not, like I said, you're not trying to have kids with her, and she just come at you and say that. That's the type of female that you have to watch. You have to make sure you bring your own condoms, because she might set you up with a condom that got holes in
Not
it or
me.
some shit.
I Thank God I didn't have those problems. God, Jesus
I,
Christ.
I mean, I
I
mean,
be hearing these stuff.
unfortunately, you do have women out there like that. Unfortunately,
Mm.
that will do something, that will do some sabotage stuff
Yeah.
like that. Unfortunately.
But
Because they
now,
do
but I
have
got a
they do
question.
have certain females that they want to have kids just because they low level thinking. The way they thinking is low level, so they have the kids.
Right.
So at income tax time, they could get a little come up, a little quick 4,000 per kid, especially out here in Atlanta where I'm at right now. I see girls walk around with 4 or 5 kids, and they be talking about, yo, income tax is gonna be good for me. Like, you having kids for income tax money.
But see,
Yeah,
but the
we
And
thing
got
it's
to have
not
about
even
now,
in the
income
the thing,
too.
grand scheme of things, it's not you, and that's the thing. And you're right, those are definitely low level fruit because in the grand scheme of things, I mean, let's be real. I mean, I'm assuming most of us have kids or something on the panel, but let's be real, that income tax don't equal out to, even if you get the earned income credit, that income tax, first of all, you can only claim up to 3 kids. So if you got 4, you out
exactly.
of
You're
luck.
gonna claim 3.
But
We know
you know
you're gonna
that,
claim
Joe.
3.
But
Yeah, we
that's
know.
the thing. Like it's like that income tax don't compare to what you spending throughout the year for your kid. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The way they mind work, their mind is backwards because they act like that little come up they come up with in the
No.
beginning of the year is gonna last throughout the whole year.
But
And
hold
when
on,
you
Kay,
and
I
when
right.
you
gotta
look
let
at
you
their
know.
kids, when
But Ken, I gotta let you know. Females already done. It's like the females already done had a conference about that. That's why women aren't trying to have kids like that. They're like, hold up, why the fuck would I want to have a kid now? And now
Right.
the math don't level out.
Well,
Mm.
That's why
that's the
women
thing.
ain't
The
trying to have no
overall,
damn baby now.
that's why I said the overall birth rate is down. The abortion rate is down because of the access to birth control. It's women aren't just randomly having weekly aborts. Time for my weekly abortion. I don't know where people get that information from.
Right.
Women are not having abortions like they used to. The overall birth rate is the lowest level it's been in 30 years. That is
Hmm.
why the Supreme Court is trying to reverse some of these rulings. But again, I'm not going to get into it for the low hanging fruit on their chat. But
Oh,
anyway, so I'm just saying, like, women are smarter about their bodies. And like I said, I've been on birth control since I was 16. My
God
mother
damn.
actually put me on. No, my mother was a realist. You know what I'm saying? And I think a
You
lot
gotta
more
start that
parents need
conversation.
to.
You gotta start the conversation.
Right,
Hmm.
exactly. I feel that my mother was a realist. Like, she found out I was having sex. She was like, you getting on the pill. You know, she
Yep.
was
well,
smart about
I
it. Where
know.
unfortunately, you have a lot of parents out there that are like, "Oh, my kid isn't having sex. My kid." Are you sure about that? The ones whose parents said their kid wasn't having sex was the ones who was fucking in the stairwell.
Right. Right.
New
Yep.
London.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just feel as a parent, you need to be a realist, and when it comes to your kids, and don't think that your kid gonna stay a virgin until marriage. That's just not a realistic thing. You need to be smart. You need to talk to them about birth control. You need to talk, and even for the men, I said, and I'm fair and balanced on this. Even for the men, you need to talk to them how not to get caught up with a fucking raggedy ass bitch. I'm
Now,
just saying it goes both ways.
now I got a
Facts.
question. And I want to, let me pick it off from Love Wisdom. I'm going to Brother Speak. Are do you think people of our tenure, we came up through the R&B era. Why are we not passing on the system in the game of don't let that person speak that good juicy juice in your ear,
Right.
and get you to drop them draws, or are we passing on the game? Like, why aren't we doing that? Because we've all been through, you know, we've all been through that struggle. Listen, my mom and dad had their fights and their eras and stuff, and I watched it. Me and my brother and sister sat at the top of the stairs and listened. We were like, I don't want to go through that shit. Y'all good. I ain't about to go through that. I told that to my daddy. I said, I ain't about to be like you, nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna be in my kid's house. I don't know what the hell you spend, or am I overshooting it? What's good? What's good, mamas?
We just not. I mean, we got lazy. We gotten lazy. We're
Mm.
not passing on the game like we're supposed to. Because I do remember growing up too, like in my preteens, like the community put the fear of God in you about going out here, fucking willy nilly. Your mama be the one to tell you, come in here with a kid if you want to. You're gonna be raising that kid by yourself. You know.
Uh-oh.
Now it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like it's a free for all. You could do whatever you want to do because you got mamas competing with their own daughters. She ain't trying
Mm.
to be no grandmama. She want to be out there with you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
She trying to
saying?
fuck the same dude you was trying to fuck
Yes,
in
ma'am.
certain in
And
some
you got
cases.
and you got older men out here living vicariously through younger men because the younger men got a chance. So the life that they should have lived, they're living it through younger men. So they're not giving them the game of being responsible. It's like everybody's trying to recapture their youth through the younger generation. And this is why you keep having this downward spiral. If you like in your 40s and 50s, I don't need you to be out here trying to compete and run with these 20 and early 30-year-olds. You should be giving them that wisdom to be careful, especially the teenagers. But now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, shit, I got mine. Don't worry about you. Don't worry about me. Just get yours the best way you can. And then this will have, these arguments going back and forth because people didn't teach.
Right. Just to
Yeah.
let you know, like I said, I will be 42 next month. My boyfriend's niece just went to, his nieces are two of them are at FAMU and one of them is up in Chicago. And we went to visit the one in Chicago last year. And I pulled her to the side. I said, listen, don't trust these niggas. So yeah, I ain't trying to compete with nothing. I just told her the real. So I just want to let you know that some of us 40-year-olds will put them on the game. Because sometimes you don't want to hear that from your mama. You want to hear it from
Mm-hmm.
a third party. You know what I'm saying? And I told her straight up. I said, I don't know if you're on birth control. I don't know what your situation is. I said, but don't trust these dudes. Make sure they wear a condom.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said, don't believe them. Don't believe anything they say. And make sure they wear a condom. If you are not on birth control, get on birth control. I told her
Yes.
straight up. I said, don't trust them. I said, and that's what I said. Exactly like you
No,
said. I said, they tell you they love you, all of that stuff. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Mm-mm,
They don't.
mm-mm, mm-mm. It's nah. They
now, let
don't.
me ask Brother Speak. Let me ask Brother Speak about it. Brother Speak.
Yeah.
Did you have it where some older brothers were trying to you know pull you over to the side and spit that game like, hey, watch out for these chickens. Watch out for that's what we called them back in the day, chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken,
You know what I'm saying?
chicken,
No,
Birds,
chicken
you know what I'm
head.
saying? Yep. So
scallywags.
you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have some brothers telling you that, or did you have to learn through trial by error? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you have anybody? You know what I'm saying? How did it go for you?
Well, my experience was different because a lot of my father was out there, so he was still having babies at 50 something years old. So I really didn't learn no game from him. I take it back. I learned from watching him that no, I don't want to do that.
Mm.
My brothers was out there, so I didn't learn. Really, the only advice I got was from my mother, and she told me don't get them pregnant. That's the only
Did
advice
you
she
pull
ever
your
gave me.
how old are your brothers now?
My brother is 53.
So but I'm
Um,
saying the younger ones. They in it.
I don't have no younger brothers. All of
Okay,
them are
because you
older.
said your father. Okay, you said your father was having kids,
Yeah, I don't even
but
know
you're
it.
not in
I
contact.
don't know if I.
Oh,
To be honest, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't even know. I might have. I know of one half, two, three half sisters that I know of. The
okay.
other
So
ones,
basically,
I
Papa was a
wouldn't.
Rolling Stone.
Yes.
Okay, all right. No, I
So
was
Mm-hmm.
gonna
he
ask
really.
you. I was gonna ask you like if you give that advice to younger brothers, but never mind. Go.
Oh
Now,
well,
what?
if somebody asked me, like I had to do that my job, he was asking me. I said, well, he was out there messing around on his wife, and I was telling him, look, bro, don't don't get her pregnant, and don't tell her where you live. And so if
Mm-hmm.
somebody would ask me about it, yeah, then I would give the advice, but yeah, as far as for me, I think I was gonna say, I think the crack era really did affect that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our
Indeed.
families, and those
Indeed.
the wisdom that we would have got from the older people, those older people, mine were gone, either thanks to the crack or the war on drugs. So a lot of them were away. They couldn't really
Mm-hmm.
teach it. So it's now what you have now is a lot of crack babies that are grown up now, and they're not in no position to teach anybody. It- They still, like you said, they're still trying to live out their youth.
Yeah.
And so that's so a lot of people had to figure it out on their own, and luckily, if the like you said, the birth rate is low because people they had to hit that bump on their own, and learn the hard way with two, three kids that oh yeah, we can't be trusting these dudes, and we can't be trusting these chicks. I got to keep the condoms on, and I got to get on my birth control, whatever I got to do, so we don't have no kids and we don't have no connections to these people. So
But
Let me pass it over to Kane. Let me pass it over to Kane and ask him this question. Kane, what about you? Who was? Did you have a older head like your mama, your daddy, somebody guiding you and saying, "Yo, like you need to be careful out there. Like, don't let some girl, what I'm saying, pull you into the upstairs bedroom, say I want to have your baby," or what was going on?
Well, yeah, I didn't really get it from my father like that because my father and my mother had separated when I was young. My mother was sick and she passed
You're
away
a little
when
bit
I
low,
was
Kane. You're a little
14.
bit low.
Hold on, y'all hear me now? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, much
you're
better.
Yeah.
good now. You're good.
All right, yeah. My father wasn't really my father and my mother separated when I was young. My mother was sick. She died when I was 14, so I was on my own. I had my first apartment at 15, so I was on my own. And most of my friends was older guys. Most of the people I hung out with was older dudes. So I was out there running the streets doing my thing. So a lot of them put me up on game, but people could tell you to be safe and all that, strap up and all that. But when you're dealing with a woman and the emotions is going and all that crazy shit, anything could happen. Because a lot of dudes, especially if they can get told by an older person what to do, it's like they learn by trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
They learn by trial and error. Most black people, that's how they move. And their parents really don't talk to their kids about that. It's like an uncomfortable thing to do. Because even right now, with my son, I talked to him about it, but he showed me the first conversation I had with him. He pulled out condoms with his damn stuff. Like, yo, dad, I had those. So I'm like, I wasn't the one that gave him them lessons. It's like they learn on their own, especially in the era that we living in now. A lot of these kids, they learn that on their own. Back in the day, it was a little bit different, but nowadays they learn on their own, and it's all trial
No,
and error.
right. No respect. And for me, my parents never told me. They never told me. Only thing they told me was you're gonna go to hell. You're gonna burn in hell. You're gonna go to hell. having sex you're gonna go to hell. And my aunt was a little bit more realistic. She was like, Zach, stop saying you're gonna go to hell. Like that makes no sense. Like, you know, I it's like I had to learn through discovery. Like I was feeling around in the dark. So the first time I ever saw a naked nude body was a boy brought a box of porn playing cards. I'm not sure if you've ever seen them before, like playing card. And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I remember those.
And the girl like, that's a dick. That's a damn snake on his leg. And I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. But I was staring at that. My little weak. Listen, y'all. I thought me having a boner, I thought that was a power. I didn't know what it was. That just shows you how inexperienced I was. Like, I got written up because I would make my pee-pee jump in front of girls, and they were like, all right, sorry, you're going to the office. That's how I didn't know a damn. I didn't know nothing. Like, I was naive. And that's a big issue we have. We don't teach and tell our kids nothing. Because you know why? Because that would mean you're afraid that your kids are going to get a different perception of you.
It's
when
a
you
fact.
When you start telling them what you did. Oh, I'm going to tell my kids the goods, the bads, all the stuff. Even I'm not like, that's why people say, damn, BMT, how you, listen, man, my kids are going to be able to go back on the BMT, all down the Chronicle and learn, okay, I know everything about dad, mom. See, my grandma always has that revelation when she starts getting old and starts telling her daughters all the fuckery she put up with everything. And all the daughters are sitting there, Mama, what? Daddy, when he's about to die, that's when all of a sudden he want to start telling his son shit. And me sitting there at the bed with Brother Speak, like, nigga, it's too late, dog. We grown men now. You
listen, I've learned more.
All the time ago.
My mother has been gone 7 years. I have learned more stuff about her. And I'm not saying it good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying, speaking in general. I have learned more stuff about her since she's been gone than I knew my whole damn life.
Yep.
It'd be a confessional, man.
It do love wisdom. People like doing. I don't know why we as people like doing these damn confessionals to our children when we leaving the earth. Well, let me tell you how much of a piece of shit I was. Nah, bump that. Nope. I would rather it come out of my mouth. Y'all sit down, get ready for the HBO BMT special because I'm about to see y'all everything. It's about to be Dawson's Creek for this bitch. So y'all about to sit down with a bottle of whiskey, but you about to hear every goddamn fuckery. And it gonna be some tears. Some of y'all might cry. Some of y'all might get up out the room, storm out. I'll still be here. I'll be on chapter 6. But don't worry. I'm gonna tell y'all everything. So that way y'all don't get surprised. Because then that way I don't want listen. I wish I could just be a fly on the wall for my damn funeral. Because I already know. So that way but see the thing about it, me and Mimi already had this talk. Like, hey, we might just let the kids know everything. That's nigga. That's that nigga.
Might as well.
Yep, might as well.
I think this generation, Generation X or whatever, millennials, whatever you know, whatever. I think we're more open because, like, we know that our because now that we're older and our family, it's like, damn, y'all kept all of them secrets from us, you know, because when we were, at least me, like I said, coming up, you thought your mama and I mean, that's probably most of us, I'm assuming. Is somebody like in a restaurant or something? But
no, I'm making coffee. I'm sorry.
It's like, I think a lot of us came up where our parents in our minds were like perfect. Like, you know, they grew up, for some of us, they got married or whatever the case may be and had us and, you know, lived the life and everything was glory. And then you start finding out, oh, damn, them weekends that you was at grandma's house. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why it was, you know, we used to bring you to grandma's house. This is what was really going on. You know, you find all that stuff out when you get older. So I think now, like, we're a little more open with our kids.
Right.
Oh
I
yeah.
also
Oh
do you
yeah.
think
I also feel like there's just a lot of shit that's open nowadays. Like sex is pretty
Mhm.
much everywhere, everything,
Yeah.
with everyone, with
right.
anything. Sad to say, and
Right.
we're
It's
exposing
there.
our
Yeah.
kids to just about any and every damn thing. Like I was saying with the strippers and all that shit. I mean, you're seeing a lot more of it now. It's girls to want to go out there and do more, be more, show more. Is showing guys, okay, well, you know what, or young men, this is how you're supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to treat a lady. This is how the money you need to be making. If you're trying to do this and you're trying to get that and you want to be on this, and it's like it's so much out there that the kids are getting exposed to. So it's like now, okay, you know what? I can't keep shit under wraps. I gotta let my kids know from day one. This is what's going on. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what this
Yeah.
is. This is what that is. Don't go over there. Please stay from that. Try to go, like, you know what I'm saying. It's just it's so much going on nowadays. You can't keep shit in the closet no more.
I done fell
Right.
for those already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
So
but do you
it's like a
think
catch-22 because
I gotta
go
beat
ahead.
them.
do you think as a people though, when it does come to sex, we're like immature when it
Yeah.
comes to sex?
I think white people are a
Because
lot more open about sex in general.
right, like
Yeah.
and because like even when we have conversations about unwanted pregnancies and things like this, there's a level of immaturity that comes up that's annoying because everything is so open. We should be more comfortable to have these conversations not only with children but with other grown people. And it's like I come to find that a lot of our people really don't have a grasp on STDs and STIs at
Mm-hmm.
all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
They
no, we
don't,
sure enough don't.
because I remember growing up, like in the fourth grade, like we had health education, and we
Yes,
saw
I
the
did too.
books. We
Yep.
saw the books of the breast and the penises, and they would get real graphic to show
Mhm.
you what chlamydia looked like, the advanced
Yep.
stages of syphilis. And you would know growing up, like when we got to high school, they was giving out condoms. Like, okay, we
Did
know.
you go to school? Did you go to school up north?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so did I.
I
So
I
did.
now
did.
I'm in Florida.
I
Now,
did.
see, that's the thing. I was just about to say that. So I did too. I'm from Connecticut.
Because
So,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
We in
because I live
Connecticut.
in
So
I noticed in Florida, like a lot of people I meet, just like you said, having conversations like this. I'm like, wait, y'all didn't learn this in like the fifth grade, and they looking at me like,
no,
no.
because
No.
even
No.
my cousins who grew up, they live in South Carolina. South Carolina, they're part of that Bible Belt, so they
Right.
would not put that in their schools. Like where
yeah.
I'm
Right.
at when I'm at in Jersey, oh, they open with it like, well, this is
Right.
what you guys have, and we would have, especially when it was like work, like AIDS Day or something like that. They made it their
Mm-hmm.
business to really talk about HIV and AIDS. Like we would have like um dental dams. Like at my
Yep.
church, we was a part of this group called Sister, and we would talk about sex. They would teach
Oh
us how
my
to
God,
put
I
a
was the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing when I was about like 14. We would go and teach
yes.
other kids about sex
They
and
would they
condoms.
would
Yep.
right. They would teach us how to put dental dams on, how to how to put a condom on with your mouth. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even like when it came to a diaphragm, the video on how to use it, they would give you all the HIV stats in your county, divided by we were so educated on that. And it's like today it's kind of like, what do you mean you don't know about this? How could you not know? So
Because parents fought it to take it out of school because it was too graphic or too much. So in the long run, what happened is it affected the kids. And like I said,
mhm.
especially down in the South, like I said, there's including civics. It seems like they don't teach civics or sex ed, at
No.
least in Florida.
Oh, they
Like I'm
took civics.
convinced.
I think they
Texas
took
kind of the
civics
same
out
way.
like 5 years, 10 years ago. They took civics out, and with civics, we had to know all the Bill of Rights, all the amendments,
Mm-hmm.
verbatim. And it's like, oh my God, how far we've fallen.
Right.
Yeah, they took all that out. I remember that. I remember that back in New York City. We had all that sex education. We had all those. We had like a period, like a period in school that would
Yes.
be a sex
Yes. It was
education
a whole
class.
period just for sex
Yeah,
ed.
whole
Yep.
period,
Yep.
It was the whole period.
like an hour and
They
10 minutes.
they taught us about drugs. They had a police officer coming into school and
Come
show us
on,
all the type of
Kane.
drugs. I
Come on.
Yep.
remember all of that.
You remember
I
Dare?
remember when they took it out of school. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
You
that.
know,
Drug
I remember
what?
there.
Drug
We
abuse
had football
resistance
players coming to our
education.
school.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
We
remember
had
when they
We
took it
had a
out.
reformed,
Well,
we
Kenny,
had a reformed
to answer,
prostitute that came out and told us, I have HIV. And we were like, what is that? What's HIV? I am sick. I'm like, she's sick? Why is she here? Like, once we started talking, boy,
what?
all the girls started getting quiet. And she said, all y'all ladies, y'all look beautiful. Come on up here. Let me tell y'all a story. And I'm like, I want to hear the story. They're like, Josiah, sit your ass down. I'm like, well, why is she telling them a story? Why is she telling us all damn story? And she said, y'all see that look? And then after that, she started going in. Boy, she must have told them girls something deep and dark. I was like, oh shit, like this is some girls must have got a good bedtime story because them girls, Stacy stopped giving head in the bathroom because whatever that lady told her, Stacy saw the light and she just said, nah, I'm good. Oh, I hate
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
Every teacher came here, she done ruined it for everybody.
well, you have to remember
But
back in those days, there wasn't a cure for HIV/AIDS. You
yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying? It was
and
basically almost like a death sentence. I mean, nowadays they have medication that where it prolongs, it basically makes it almost undetectable. And also to
yes,
answer your question, Kenny Kojo, it's not about teaching people how to give rim jobs. It's just teaching people how to like be safe if they choose to give a rim job or
right,
because
right.
like we just said, there's so many people out here that don't know and are fucking raw and then they get pregnant. They're like, oh, I don't know how I got pregnant.
You know
That's
what?
the thing.
Let me
That's the
cut
thing.
at that. But let me hit at this real quick, Kane, where she just said that.
That
I'll never forget, and I'm gonna show you how dumb the lessons were for that point. We did have two. We knew that they were gay students, and I'll never forget because the home health teacher, well, mainly I was the PE teacher, said if you are gay or homosexual, they could say back in the day in school, you most likely will get the gay disease. That's what they call it, the gay disease.
Yeah, they call it
And
HIV.
they said once you get it,
Right.
it's hard for you to get. It only changed up different where I remember when Magic Johnson came on TV and said,
Mm-hmm.
I have I was like, what?
Yes, I
Magic
remember
Johnson's
that.
gay? Magic Johnson's gay? That's how we all thought. Well, Magic Johnson must be gay. And he was like, no, I had sex with many women. And then after that, then we were like, oh. And after that, they had to come back the next year and say, anybody can get AIDS and HIV. We're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, we all can get it. Like, we had to think of lesson. We all thought we could all get AIDS. But that was the thing about it, that we all at one time in our class, we only thought that the gays only could get AIDS. Like nobody else was thinking that, well, if you had HIV or AIDS, you were gay. That was it. We didn't think anybody else could get it. Like
Right.
so that was all it was to it. Until we found out one of my classmates, their mama she got really sick. And then they told us, her dad told us she had gotten HIV. She had gotten HIV. And I think he might have it. And that's when we understood, okay, I guess anybody can get this now. And the girl, mind you, she's 15. She was teaching us on the bus about HIV. So y'all stop with the nonsense. Don't thinking that teenagers don't be learning. It's better for you to get ahead and start sitting down with them, but then letting them learn on their own. If we gotta
Right.
learn on our own. Shit, that's a free game lesson. I'm going to all kind of shit. Go ahead.
Right.
I'll pass it to y'all.
We had the lessons. My mother, besides school, my mother taught me about, it was called the birds and the bees, when I was
Mhm.
like 10,
Right.
So I think that the earlier that you learn about it and you're educated about it, you're able to make better decisions as you get older. Now, but the thing about the dental dam, the reason why they taught us that is because you can get like thrash in your mouth. If somebody has an STD or STI, you can get thrash in your mouth. Same way if a man gives a woman oral, he can get that thrash in his mouth. It could be on his tongue. It could be all inside of his gums. That's why
Yeah,
they
you
was
could get.
telling us about, these things. Like right now, the most common STD right now is HPV, the human papillomavirus. People, it's like 20 million people that have it, but they don't know they have it because it's not that type of STD that shows obvious symptoms. Like you could get it and then within like 6 weeks it goes away, but then it can also come back.
And
That's
it
why they
causes
wanted,
cancer. Right, it causes cervical
right.
cancer. My daughter got a shot for it already. It's funny because my doctor, he's this old Jewish dude, her pediatrician, and he was like, "Well, she's 12, and I want to talk to you about the HPV shot." Because I guess he gets a lot of pushback from parents. I said, "No, I understand science. You can give her the shot." He was like, "Oh, thank you so much." He was like, "Usually I have to have this long, drawn out conversation because parents think their kids aren't eventually gonna have sex." I'm like, "No." I said, "You can give her the vaccine. It's fine." Because people think like, "Oh, why does she need that at 10, 12 years old?" Okay, they
Hmm.
might not be having sex now, but at some point, probably in the next 10 years, they will be.
Right. And you have to make sure your children are prepared. And I think kind of the reason why we have like all these STDs and STIs floating around is because as the generations change and they start taking that stuff out and parents become more embarrassed to talk about these things, these kids do learn in trial and error. And unfortunately, with trial and error, it can have devastating consequences.
Right.
This is why I tell women, listen, we got too much contraceptives out here for us to be slipping. Listen here, your
Exactly.
condoms, your diaphragms, your shot. Do not let nobody tell you, oh, they giving you birth control. It's population control. Shut up.
Listen,
Protect
I've been on
your, protect
IUD for the
your.
last 10 years. I don't play that shit.
Listen,
Mm-mm.
protect yourself out here because at the end of the day, and I tell this to men too, if any woman sit up here and tell you, "Oh, I want to feel you," without putting a condom on, you need to walk away because if she's not invested in her own sexual health, she
Run.
damn sure ain't gonna be invested about yours. And if you
Yeah.
stick your dick in her raw and you catch something, that's on you because you as a man have to protect your sexual health too, as well as women. I don't understand how a woman can allow a man to talk her out of not having protected sex. Oh, baby, come on, man. It don't feel the same. My nigga, look, no, we're going to discuss this before the rendezvous. Bruh, you got you got them condoms? You got the condoms? Oh, man, I don't believe in wearing
Facts.
condoms.
Hey, the,
Facts.
Goodbye.
yeah, the
we
dudes don't
we
even.
ain't gonna do this.
I do you better. The dudes don't even have to say that. There are women. There are women out there. I remember I was on Tumblr, and this chick literally said, "If we're not fucking raw, we're not fucking." Literally, she literally said that.
Oh,
She tried to clean that
in
up.
2020?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, they
yes,
got chicks out
Jen,
there that's doing
sis,
that.
sis, Jen, they
yes.
not lying. Look, Jen, they're not lying. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's both sides. The thing about it
Oh yeah,
is,
it's
men,
definitely both sides. I'm
I
not
think
saying
with
anyone's
men,
without fault.
men are a little more vocal. Men are a little more vocal about it. Some women are very low key, but every now and again they'll make it blatant. Like, well, if we ain't fucking raw, we ain't fucking. Um, to be
Yeah.
honest, you have people. First of all, you have people who don't even practice proper hygiene. That's number one. So for you to be
Yes.
sitting up here saying, well, if we
Yeah.
ain't fucking raw, we ain't fucking raw, we ain't fucking. Sis, you got some dudes out here who don't know how to properly wash their ass. Brothers, you
Yeah.
got some women who don't know how to properly wash
Hmm.
that box down there. And
Yes.
y'all up there fucking these people holding your breath. I know that you do because I be hearing the stories. And I'm sitting up there like, y'all ain't got no standards. Like, if you smell when you take off the pants and that air just boofs and your nose flare up, why are you still having sex with that person?
Hey,
First,
Right. And then
I
those
can
be the
do
ones
you
walking
better.
first.
around, but those be
Hey,
the ones
I
walking around with kids. So somebody fucking them. You
Thank
sitting
you.
there
Yeah,
like,
Thank you.
yeah,
oh
that's what I'm
the
and
saying.
that's like one time,
That's
like, or
what I'm
sometimes
saying.
when dudes be like, oh, she was so creamy. I'm like, you sure she was creamy or was that BV, my nigga?
Eh, eh,
yeah
Jen,
that
come
that
on, Jen.
that
Come on, Jen.
Espe-
Well, that's also
Especially if
too
it's
like
white like
how
that. Oh no,
Oh,
bro.
uh oh.
No, bro.
There to the
That's not.
chopper.
She's
There to
not.
the chopper.
That's hey. That hey. She is not just wet. She got a problem, and now you about
I
to
was
have a
I was just
problem.
Right. And
I
y'all
was just
going up there.
watching the video. I was just watching the video the other day. This little kid on YouTube. He was out there running around asking girls if they cream or they squirt. And you got girls answering this shit saying, "Yeah, I cream." I'm like, man, y'all better watch that cream, man. That cream could be cottage cheese, man. Spoiled cottage cheese.
Let
Yep.
me right, yeah. And it's like they just it's I'm
You know,
like, this is how you
we
know
think it is.
people are this how you know people are sexually immature because
Right.
some of the stuff that you be off of Instagram, I just feel like you're a grown ass woman sitting up here saying, I'm so nice, I'm so creamy. He like that yellow. I'm like, yellow? Oh no. Girl, what you
Oh,
doing? That
So you need to like your
no.
butt to Planned Parenthood and get checked out. And just to let you know,
Girl.
Planned Parenthood is not
You
just
know,
for
got sister.
abortions, contrary to popular belief. Planned
Thank
Parenthood
you.
is, and actually Joe and I did a whole show about this a while back. Most of Planned Parenthood's business is actually from prevention and birth control and STD, if you got one or you
Mm-hmm.
need condoms and stuff like that. Like people think that Planned Parenthood is like mostly for abortion. I think their business is only like I think abortions is maybe 10%, maybe. I could be pushing it. But most of their stuff is about, like I said, for men and women, they have services for men and women. And they also do counseling, they have teaching and everything else at Planned Parenthood. It's a great resource in your community. And no, it's not just in the hood because there's a Planned Parenthood. I live in a white ass town and there's a Planned Parenthood down the street. So it is
Yeah.
not
well,
just in the hood. It is not
I was
just
gonna say,
some
G,
creation.
that when you guys were talking about kids and their sexual immaturity and stuff, a lot of them, we do have the thing called rape. A lot of them are getting messed with and toyed with while they're young, especially by their own family members.
That's
So
true.
how they
That's very
tend to
true.
carry themselves and how they tend to bring themselves up, they might not know everything because, okay, well, Uncle Joe told me that it was okay for me to be like this, and I don't have to worry about doing X, Y,
Mm-hmm.
and Z because he made it safe for me to do that while he was playing with this area. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that. So when they're growing up, they still had that mentality like, okay, I could still do this because I was brought up on this. And it was told to me that it was okay. So that's another issue that we have, especially with kids and their sexual immaturity, because a lot of them were messed with while they were younger, sad to say, by mommy, daddy, brother, sister, cousin, family friend,
Random
the
boyfriend.
pastor at church, somebody, anything,
The
anyone.
teacher.
The school bus driver decided to keep me back for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
don't matter who. So we're also at fault for doing shit like that too, because like I said, we're teaching our kids, okay, you know what? It's okay for me to do this, and you can't say nothing. And then when they're getting older, like I said, they're stuck with that mentality that, okay, you know what? This was okay. I didn't have to wash after this, or I was just told to, you know what, just to go run it off or something, and I'm gonna be good. So when they're coming around other grown ass people or other men, hey, you want this, you want that? Oh, you know what, baby girl, you smelling a little raw, or something ain't too right with you, or whatever. Oh no, it's fine. I promise you, I'm good. And then y'all still going with it anyway.
Right.
Just soak in vinegar. It'll be okay.
the thing about it was, and I remember, I'm just saying, girl, we spoke about Suki Hana. She
I
had a
can't hear you.
song. Can you hear?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can't
see,
hear
I
you,
gotta
Jen.
turn it in my direction. So the girl Suki Hana, if you ever
Oh,
looked
we're
at some
back
of
on
her
that.
older music, no, I'm just gonna show y'all.
Okay.
The girl Suki Hana, when she first started out in the game, she wrote a song, I was sucking dick since I was in the 3rd grade. Now,
Yeah,
I was like, what
come
the
on
fuck?
now.
Now,
I know girls like that.
yeah, it was called Blame It on Trina, but she was talking about she was sucking dick, she was in the 3rd grade. Now, I was kind of like, now I had to stop and say, Mimi, what did we just hear? And I said, I know everybody else didn't ignore that. Why are everybody still dancing? Like, we gonna get this girl therapy. But literally, I said, did she just admit that she was raped? Because there's no way a third grader can consent. But literally, they're like, "Oh shit, damn, she's raw. Then she's hard." No, y'all overlooking.
It's
She
like
just said,
they glazed over that part.
we just glazed over that.
Right.
Like people don't just go from 0 to 1,000,000 like just overnight. Something has to trigger a catalyst of some of these things that happen for them to get like that. Some people, that's an anomaly. But for most people, something triggers them for the baby talk, the I want this and that. Like things happen that you gotta be more perceptive to. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that kind of conversation because they're looking at it like, well, you know, how does that benefit? You know what? Maybe that's something that they no. Pay attention to the fine print. Why do you want? And you know what? The thing about it is, a female shouldn't have a problem asking a man, why do you want to have a baby with me? Now, some guys now they have to think, oh, well, I like you. That's not a good enough reason. You like me. That's why you want to have a baby. Fellas, ask the woman the same question. Why you want to have a baby? Well, I like you. Well, there got to be more to that. But everybody just thinks it's always fun to have a baby, but nobody
Hey Joe, can I
understands.
back up? Hey Joe, can I just back up real quick to what Mimi was saying? And sometimes too, what happens, like like I said, it be the boyfriends in the house or whatever the case may be. That's why women need to be careful. Like if the father ain't in the picture, women need to be careful about who they have around their kids, first and foremost. Secondly,
Really?
a lot of times men, let's say the daughter comes to the mother, hey, your boyfriend, your boyfriend Leroy was looking at me funny. Girl, you better not say nothing, because they trying to keep a man in the house or whatever. So you're right. The said parent will overlook that, or make it sound like she lying or something like that, or turn it into, well, you had those short shorts on yesterday. Like,
But the thing with that, that's those low level parents.
that low
I'm not just
hanging
gonna
fruit,
blame.
right?
I'm not just gonna blame it on the mothers because that's one thing. I'm coming in these spaces just bash women. Like women got they fucked up shit with them. Dudes got they fucked up shit
Right.
with them. But with that situation right there, is usually one of those parents when you see their child, you like, yo, why is your child dressed like you? And when I say that, is because it's usually a ratchet mother or something, and the kid is dressed up like she's on a video, like she's
Right.
in this video or something. Like that's the clothes you buy for her, and you allow her to do silly shit. Cause I remember when I was a kid, if the girls came in the room, they was doing some silly shit. The parents would send them out the room like, "There's adults here."
Right.
And why you even moving like that? Them type of dances was even allowed in the house. If you did them type
Wait,
of dance, you probably would have got your ass whooped.
I barely can sit at the adult table now. What the fuck?
So
Yeah,
it's like,
like I said, I don't even care. I don't even care to be sitting there like that these days. When half the time they be trying to tell me stuff, and I don't. You're wasting your time. Uh, I
Right.
think you brought up a good valid point. Uh, I didn't know how bad the sexual issues were with my family until my generation. We had a talk at the table, just ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We had a talk. And some people, we always think that why do you like fucking so much? Or why do you like doing what you do? Or why are you always on that baby making shit? And you see, these are the uncomfortable conversations that blacks don't like to have with each other. We don't like having these conversations because that would mean you have to go ahead and look at the mirror. And, when we start having these conversations, then people start coming out and saying what they really feel. Well, none of y'all gave a fuck when it was happening to me. So why do you care now? And we're like, wait, but nobody knew. Nobody knew. So it's a different feel when, you know what I'm saying, when you start talk like I'm dead ass shit. I challenge y'all this year for Thanksgiving. Sit down with the people in your age category of your family and ask them, have any of y'all ever felt uncomfortable or ever felt like you were violated? You will be surprised what you might just pull up. I'm dead. I am so dead ass serious.
So was it the fact that you're saying nobody knew, or were we trying to turn a blind eye to it?
See, that's the thing about it. I think it's both because I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to go on both because I can remember there were times that some of the females in our family were pregnant, but then all of a sudden the bump went down. So we never know if they had an abortion or they gave the baby away or somehow Aunt Gladys just took care of the baby and just took the baby on as hers. Or we could have probably have it where sometime we always wonder why that one cousin, why is he always fucking? But we never knew somebody mentally fucked him up.
Right.
So now his mind can't.
And Black people don't like therapy.
So now we got to mentally process, you know what I'm saying? Why is his brain functioning the way it functions when it comes to sex? So no, what you're saying is so true. Jay. Black people do not like therapy. No, we don't. We don't like therapy. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that a lot of people like to talk on. You know, because then that means we have to look at the demons. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, most of us are mentally fucked up just living as Black in America. So add that with that extra stuff that you're talking about, like, yeah.
Right. So
can you put the link back in the chat?
Right. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm just saying that I always we always like my cousin, he gets plenty of play up there in Massachusetts, right? And I was like, yo, bro, like, why do you keep making all these goddamn babies, nigga? Like, your dad done abandoned you. Why do you keep doing the same thing? I'm like, you got damn 9 kids. 9, nigga, 9. Why do you keep making all these fucking babies and you keep bringing them around Aunt Janine? Nigga, she getting old, dog. She don't want to take care of your fucking bum ass kids.
Oh, so what? He'll make babies and then he don't even take. I'm sure because he don't take care of it, right?
But you know what? He's like, my mama left me. So in his mind, that's how he was getting back at women like his mama. By you see what I'm saying? And we can't
right instead of, but you know, the same can be said for abusers too, but that's another conversation. But yeah, like again, they need to work that out, and you're right, they need to work that out in therapy, anger management, whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, you know, and I mean, there's a lot of factors involved that people don't consider. I mean, we could talk about the, you know, the level of insurance that most of us have here in these days, and money, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But just in general, as a whole, people use drugs and alcohol as therapy in a lot of cases, and sex. Drugs, alcohol, and sex are usually used as therapy when they need to be sitting on somebody's couch. Just saying. That's probably a whole other show that we could bring.
Kane, what do you think about that, Kane? Are you saying, do you think some dudes are making babies and some women are making babies to, you know, make up for something that they missing out on, or that they feel like, hey, I've been wronged on, or some shit?
Oh, yeah,
what do you think about that, Kane?
Yeah, they definitely got a group of people that's the way they move. Like something dramatic happened in their life, and then they just take it out on other shit. Like it's not like sex. Like they just go out there, they just want to fuck. They just want to fuck all type of chicks. Excuse my language, but they just want to be knocking off chicks and having babies. And I know dudes like that actually. Matter of fact, there's a white dude. They call him the Sperminator, and he go out there and all he got about 500 kids. 500 women that he had kids with, and the women just want to have kids with this dude. He's a white guy, tall,
because he's white.
blue eye.
Yep, and they'll have light, good hair and light eyes, and yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
It's sad.
like they got people that do all type of crazy shit, and that's definitely one of the things they do. It don't make no sense.
Now, I gotta ask you, brother, speak. Do you think some of these women are making these babies because this is like the second chance to a family that they didn't have? What do you think about that? Because
You
I've
still
heard
there?
some females. Yeah, I don't know if he's still there, and I'm asking brother speak. Like, do y'all think some of these women are making families? But I've heard some
Yeah,
people. Do y'all feel some women are making kids to the family that they didn't have?
I
yes,
think so. Yes.
And though I'm gonna get to y'all ladies too about that. But I want to know, is this something that's happening where, you know what, I got robbed out of a family,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna get
I
it.
think for women, yes. I think men are just trying to spread their. I'm saying both are toxic. I think men, if to answer your question, I think both sexes are toxic in a different way. With that, meaning men are just trying to spread their seed everywhere. Well, my daddy did it. I got a bunch of brothers and sisters that I never met, or this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Now, see, that could be toxic in the future. Now, see, this is where it gets messy in the future, because what ends up happening, you spreading your seed everywhere. Now, how do you know when your kid gets older, especially if you're in the same town or the same county or whatever? Now your kid get older and they fuck around and they date and they have brother and sister because they didn't know that that was their brother and sister, because you spreading your seed everywhere. And then as far as women are concerned, it's like what you said. I feel like maybe they didn't have a daddy around, maybe their mother wasn't shit or whatever the case may be. So now it's like, well, I'm gonna be a better mother than her. I'm gonna give my kid everything. I'm gonna do everything. So it's that uh I'm kind of like a do-over. They have a kid and it's like a do-over.
Okay.
well, yeah. If
Go
I
ahead,
can
brother. Speak.
answer, yeah,
Yes.
I think that's a lot of times that's what's happening, and I think it's happening more than people want to realize. Because they're trying to get that family that they never had, or you know, or they just want that connection with that guy any way they can. The only way they can have it is through the baby. And so,
Mm.
and they're not planning for, like I said in another panel, they're not planning for a family with him. They're planning a family without him, and they just
Joe, it's an
hoping
hour
that
and 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Thank you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
they just planning a family and hoping that he will be included or not included. It don't matter, as long as they got the
Yeah.
baby.
Okay.
That's very
Okay.
true. Cause
We are
I've definitely dealt with a lot of women.
we're joined here by Sister Always, and one of the head honchos that helped me bring this about. Faith, what's going on, Faith?
Hey, what's going on, BMT? What's going on to the panel? Love, wisdom. I see
Good
Jean up here.
morning.
Good morning. I see the two gentlemen up here. Good morning.
Good
I
morning. Good morning.
actually talked about this topic on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and it's a great topic because we don't really talk about the men that pretty much get the women pregnant because of the alternative motives. I know you guys are talking about the women, but I'm going to say my piece real fast. A lot of times, these guys, they'll sit up here, they're wanting to attach themselves to the women. So what they'll do is they'll get the woman pregnant, and usually it's because they want to kind of tie her down and keep her attached to him without having to marry her. And this is
Mm.
something that goes on in the hood a lot. It's usually, they'll give you the baby before they give you the ring. And that is the reason why I am so happy that the younger generation of women have wised up and they've started, utilizing the birth control methods more. and the birth rate is going down. But unfortunately, the marriage rate is not going up. Now, one thing that I have, stated, Black women, we're doing our part as far as, not getting pregnant, before marriage. That portion of it, we're working on it. We're doing a great job. But I don't see Black men doing their part to make sure that the marriage rates are going back up. And usually, it's the man that does the asking. In our community, our Black men just don't want to get married. They want to be out here skeeting and, shooting up babies, but they don't want to give out rings. They will give you a baby before they give you a ring, and that's a problem.
Well,
So,
Now,
I just want to know,
I
why
think we
is it that, you can give me the baby, but you can't give me the ring? Why do you see a
uh,
baby as less of a commitment than a ring?
well, I
I
would say,
agree.
do women require that too? Because that's the other thing. Men are, like you said, men are the key to marriage. But the question is, are the women requiring marriage before that baby? And from what from what we've seen, they're not requiring marriage before the baby. They just want to
Well,
have that connection with that guy, or
if the
they just
birth
want the
rate if the
baby.
birth rate is dropping, it looks like the women are requiring something. So you can't just ignore that.
No,
I
but in the
still
same
don't think they're
token,
requiring marriage. To be
yeah, that's the
honest,
thing. That's the thing. They're not having the babies. Like, that's not happening no more. People are actually protecting themselves. They're not having the babies, but in the same token, they don't like each other.
right? They don't want
They
that
fucking
connection,
they can have sex with each other, but they don't like each other enough to make that type of commitment.
right?
They having sex because sex is the thing to do, but people is having sex without even the emotion. It's just I like that. I like what I see. Let's have sex, and then we just separate.
Yeah,
We
it's a
fuck
lot of
around, we mess with each other until we tired of each other, and then we just move on. Nobody is going into these situations with the thought of marriage on their mind.
yeah. We keep thinking that it's just guys pumping and dumping. There's these
But see,
ladies are laying and leaving. They don't
here's
want that.
my thing. I'm seeing a lot of guys out here complaining that women don't want marriage. Women, don't want to, be wives anymore. Women have just shut down the baby shop. We shut down the wife shop. We shut down everything. And you have to ask yourselves, why did we shut it down?
Well, then you have to ask yourself, why are these guys not wanting that long commitment with you too? Because if you want to look at one side, we have to look at the other
But we
side.
weren't really getting it before either. So
Okay, well, there's a lot of issues with that too. So if there is no connection on both sides, we have to look at. We can't just say, well, men didn't want to get married. There are a lot of women that say they get proposals, but they don't want to marry. So
But
it's not
I hear
just.
a lot of older women saying that, but the younger women, I don't hear the younger women really saying that too often.
Yeah,
Now here's the
but they're
thing,
not
and
requiring
see,
the
this is
marriage though.
it's gonna take a lot of men to put two and two together. And see, unfortunately, it's gonna be too late before y'all put two and together. These women have not just started not having your babies. These women have not just started, saying, okay, no, I'm good on marriage. There's something going on that's making these women come to this conclusion, and it's up to the men to put the pieces together because
Well,
they
wouldn't
have
that
definitely shut it down.
wouldn't that be the same for the women? Figure out why the men don't want to commit. Because
Well, no,
if
but
black men
no,
are black men doing better than they did back then, because back then there was an economic issue why they wouldn't get married. They didn't have the money to take care of a family.
there's still an
It's
economic issue.
okay, it's still an economic issue, but the women are making more money, so why still they're
No,
not getting
no,
married?
no,
It's
we
a
weren't.
problem. The women are not. There's no connection. There's everybody will have sex, like Kane said. They want to have sex, but the actual work to have a connection with a person to make it a long term, it's not there, and that's on both sides. This is not just a man problem, saying that it's the men's fault. It's the women. The women have some responsibility with it as well. So let's not just put it all on the men,
Well,
because
let me push it like this. Can we ask the question: was marriage more so of a survival tool for a come up? Was it more so of a survival tool?
I would
Back in
say
the day,
Uh,
it wasn't.
yeah,
Back in the day, it was, and that's
yes.
why the marriage
Right.
rate is down, because now women are getting degrees and they have jobs on their own, and in a lot of cases, women are making more money than the man is. So I think in a lot of these cases, and I mean, we're speaking about black folks, but I mean, I think it's across the board. But
Right.
I think in a lot of these cases, women are like, well, what I need you for? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I got the job, I could afford my own place, I got my own car. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got everything I need. So you can just come and suck and fuck me and then you can leave. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, what we need you for.
yeah. The men have been reduced to a dick and a wallet. That's,
So
I hate to be vocal like that, but that is what's going on here. Hence,
I
you have
do.
a hookup culture right now.
I do agree. I do agree with that. That if we have a hookup culture, and it's also when in Rome, let's do what the Romans do type of mentality.
Right.
At the end of the day, um, both sides are very immature when it comes to sex and when it comes to family planning. Because number one, marriage is the foundation of a family. It's not just a situation
Exactly.
of wealth, but it is the foundation on which a family is built on. I would say this to women specifically, and I'm glad that I'm seeing women understanding this now. Do not sign up for something that you're not prepared for. And I think if women stood on their square more, they can get a lot from a man. For example, if you're not the type of woman that likes to ride and suck, then you need to make that very clear. So if you have a man that's saying, guess what, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, you can say, well, I'm looking for a relationship, thank you, take care of yourself. What tends to happen is you will have some women who say, I'm down for it, with the pretense of changing a man. So I'm gonna be down for it, but this pussy gonna get him to change. And what ends up happening is the women, they get their feelings hurt, because at the very beginning, that's not what you signed, that's not what you wanted, but you signed up for it anyway. I would say for women, stand on your square. If you're looking for a relationship that's going to lead into marriage, that's the direction that you need to be in. And do not be afraid to tell these men, look, I'm looking for something
Mm-hmm.
different. Thank you and take care. With
Yeah.
that said, a woman can
Right.
leave
I'm
with her
always upfront about that. Right.
right. A woman can leave with her dignity, that she didn't make a mistake and falling with somebody who didn't want to be with her, because he made that very clear. I would say this to the men: if the men were more honest, they can get
Mm-hmm.
cooperation from a woman. If men weren't so focused on, gain, gain, you can get
Mm.
respect and cooperation from a woman. So the thing
That
is, if you, as a man, are not looking for a relationship with a woman, you need to make that very clear to her. Do not
Mm-hmm.
lead her on with sweet nothings, because women are very emotional. And if you tell her the right things, she is going to be a little clingy, because, oh my God, he's showing me some attention. If you're not trying to be with that woman like that, don't do that, because what ends up happening is she's going to get in too deep because of what you say, and then you're going to have a child with this woman that you really didn't like. So I think that both sides need to be very mature on the matter. Now, when it comes to Brother
Facts.
Speaks' point about a lack of connection, the reason why there's a lack of connection, because people lie to each other too much. Like, tell the
absolutely.
truth from the very beginning of what
A-
it's going to be. So we don't have to hear things about financial abortion. You have to tell the truth to people from the
Yeah.
very beginning. I will even go as far as to say, with these men who are having all of these issues, y'all got to think about it from a business standpoint. Y'all ain't got no contractual agreements going on here. Sign it and get it signed by a notary public if y'all, because some of y'all make it seem like these women are putting a gun to your head and say, lay down and let me ride this dick. Okay? If y'all that claustrophobic, get yourself a contractual agreement. You remember how they used to have the like the relationship application and stuff like that? It was for fun, but they actually had one out there about these are the requirements. If y'all feel that way, why you can't do it the business way? Get yourself a contractual agreement, read the terms and conditions to her. If she down with it, let her sign it, get it notary contracted and move on. Handle it like a business. If y'all are so unprotected, handle it like a business.
Right.
Same thing
Well,
for the women. Handle it like a business, sis. Write it down. Let them sign that. Let them sign that contract, because at this point, you just have immature people who just want to pump and dump and ride and suck and do whatever they want to do until it's time to be an adult. We got to get off of Neverland Island here, because you have human beings with emotions and people shouldn't be toyed with like this.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And the only, I would say, to the whole thing about these guys sweet nothings in the air. We also have there are guys who will tell the woman straight up that, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just doing me. But that woman will lie to him and saying that, oh, okay, I'm down, but she's still catching feelings. So I think it's like Love Wisdom saying, we both got to be honest what we want. I remember there was this lady on a radio show. She was talking about she was married before, and she was just looking for a guy who got good penis, but she was still dating a guy who was wanting to wait before marriage. So they were dating 5 months in. They went to Las Vegas, got drunk, and they started having sex. She didn't enjoy the sex because he wasn't the right size. So she cut all communication, and then went on the radio station blaming him for the whole problem. But in the end, she was lying to herself and him, because she wasn't clear with him what she wanted from the jump. So both of these sides are lying, and we try to push the narrative it's all on the man. It's not all on the men. Some of these
Well,
women are lying to themselves.
marriage is kind of all on the men. I'm gonna say this because you at the 2 hour mark, and then I'm gonna jump down. But we are giving two totally different messages to the young men when they're little boys growing up into men, and we're giving a whole nother message to the girls when they're young women growing up to be women. We tell the women, we push marriage to the women, but we don't push marriage to the boys. We're getting two separate messages when we're growing up, and that is
Are
the
we?
problem. That
Are we
we
pushing
are. We're
marriage?
getting two. Yeah,
Are
we're
we
pushing
pushing
marriage to
marriage?
the girls. We
Are we
definitely
pushing
are
marriage to
pushing.
Oh
girls?
Yes,
nah.
we're pushing
We-
marriage to the girls,
No,
and
we're
we are
not.
not
I would
pushing
disagree with
marriage
that.
to the boys.
No, it's not.
They're
No, it
getting
I
is not
two
disagree.
happening.
separate messages. Two
Let her
separate
finish.
messages going on. Now
No,
I'm gonna say that and drop down. Y'all can do with that what you will, but that is exactly what is going on. Because I remember when I was a little girl, my parents, they always talked to me about marriage. They always talked to me about, being a bride and all that type of stuff, being a wife. But my brother did not get the same message that I got. That there's two different messages being pushed to young boys and young girls. And that is the problem. With that, I'm gonna drop down.
uh, to
So,
respond, no, that's not the message that, at least maybe back then, but not now. They're
so,
not pushing marriage.
so
They're
wait, so
pushing women to be independent.
okay, so what message is men pushing?
Same thing. Just be independent. Do whatever do for you.
Okay.
We're taught to be independent. We're not taught to find that wife or find that husband. Like I said, maybe in the past they did. Uh, but my generation, we didn't get that. The women weren't getting that message.
No. But I'm asking, what were the men getting? What were the men getting? What were the men in your generation?
Just if they were getting any message at all, is hey, don't let these women play you. That's pretty much it. That's that I like I said, I didn't get the message. I had to watch by example. I didn't get nobody sat me down and told me, hey, what to do with a woman. I never got that message. I didn't know how to be. I didn't even get the message about how to be in a relationship from either my mother, my father, or my brothers.
Okay.
The only thing my mother told me was don't get her pregnant, and that's it. So
exactly.
a lot of the stuff I had to learn on my own,
All right.
and so
Now I'm gonna tell you, my father, my mom told me, and what's going on, D the Row? Shout out to the BBN
What's
Network.
up, brother?
Let me
What's up,
first
panel?
off,
Hey, Jay.
Morning,
let me
D.
let
All
me
right.
let
Hey,
me
Blood Wisdom.
real quick for y'all while I'm busy, while take a little break. I should have did it with Faith was up here. Ladies and gentlemen, but we have to. I got to get together with everybody. Love Wisdom. Make sure you email me, dear. Make sure you email me. That
Certainly,
way,
certainly.
literally the business page is done. It's done. The Facebook business page is done. As well as the group page is done. So we now need to start getting to work and doing the other portion of this. And don't worry, it will be. It will. We're just doing a little tinkering. Just doing a little tinkering. But all that will be handled. We have the Black Balance Network. Now we can set it
Make
up
sure you
for.
link in the make sure you put the link in the subject.
Yes, ma'am. Which we will be able to do that to be able to start formulating schedules for setting up for people to do their they can let you know when they're going live. You can actually connect with your content creators. You'll be able to push in topics, articles, stuff like that that they can look at, review. We can have discussions, polls, different stuff on in the Black Balance Network. It's literally one where we can have a good time. People are starting to show up. People are starting to show up. I think I just started ask people how do they feel about it, and a lot of people, when I had a silent panel, they said that they want to hear some balanced conversation. So that's what I am going to do. I am definitely pushing for that. Either Real wants that, Love Wisdom wants that, Jay wants that. I'm pretty sure Brother Speak wants that, Kane wants that, Faith, I know she wants that, Spring Learning wants that. So we are definitely now, the group is done. The page is done. I believe in the page, people can put up business advertisements, Jay, right? Or I got to learn more about how pages work. But we definitely going to have it where you can also put up stuff about information, business. Let us know about any hiring or anything like that in your area. We're going to be looking at a lot of articles. This is something that it will mature as we mature and what we make it. So we have the group that is done. We also have the page, the business page that is done. This has all been done for you guys by the BBN network. So you guys, I definitely am happy to say it took we were working on it for a week and we got it all done. We have it all done for you guys because we love y'all. We love y'all. So that way now we can start keeping track of your favorite content creators. So I wanted to ask because the thing about it was when I was growing up, I was told, you know what, son, find yourself a good woman. You take care of your family. You be about your business. That was the one. That was the one thing I was told. That was the thing I was told. If you go ahead and lay down with a woman, you make sure you take care of that woman and that child. That I didn't have much. I didn't have much. Mimi will tell you. Starting out making a family is hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially with you start off from zero. But you know what? I had to swallow up my pride. Sometimes when I had money, I would hear her say, "Diapers. We need diapers, nigga. He needs formula." I'm like, "Damn, when do I get money?" See, it's easy to say I want you to have my baby, but I chose my fate. I gotta let y'all know. I knew what I was getting into when I got on top of her. Oh, I thought I did. I'm pretty sure Kane thought the same thing. Shit, it was fun being on top, but damn it, the ball game starts to drastically change when you start seeing that ticker start to tick, and as her belly starts getting bigger, she starts playing with the AC. God knows women like playing with that damn AC. You got to go. Your money starts. See, you know when people start hitting reality, when their wallet starts feeling it. When their wallet starts feeling it, and her body starts going through the changes. Now you're starting to see something differently because now your manhood is now being put on the table. Just like when she said, "I want to have your baby," she doesn't fully understand what that entitled comes with when you spoke that to him. I'm being real with you. Listen, I ain't got nothing to sugarcoat to y'all. I've had plenty of days where I'm like, yo, I'm about to bounce. I'm about to bounce. And she just sat there on that bed looking at me like with eyes and pissed off, like, fuck, what do you mean you about to bounce? Bounce where, nigga? I didn't do this by myself. You knew exactly what you was doing, Joe. And then I always had to remember, do I really want to be like the rest of them niggas? Do I really want? And I had that I had that moment of clarity. I sat in my car. You know what I'm saying? I looked at that paycheck, that $700, and I said, do I take this money back to that woman and her swollen belly, or do I go out there with my friends and I go have some fun? And you know what I did? I took that money, I paid them damn bills, and I doggone brought home some food, and I brought home that dog. It was a little bit of a win, but it was a win. See, that's the thing about it that pisses off a lot of people, is because it touches your wallet. It actually has, because now you're more so in a mental battle with yourself. And so people always ask the question, and I'm just talking to you as a man, you know, I don't want to go off of the what ifs because I know it is. I've had a woman get an abortion on me. But if you choose, I knowingly knew I wanted to get her pregnant. I'm like King. I didn't trust no woman with my condom. I picked the condom, or I just went in wrong. But I had to eat that. I had to eat it on my own. I did. So, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna pass it to D the real, but I'm just gotta be real with y'all, man. Like, it's not an easy conversation. Maybe I had to have a one-on-one with just the fellas on this one later on. But I'm telling you, for a lot of men, we've had that time when we sat in that car and wondered, damn, I want to just bail the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. She know it. She know it. Her only bailout plan is I'm gonna go down to the clinic and either give the baby up for adoption or I'm abort. Your plan is you get in that goddamn Buick, crank that motherfucker up, and never come back in that house. That's your abortion. That's always been the abortion plan as a man you've always had. And I can tell you right now, I know plenty of brothers that got to play the card. I thought about it one time. I said, man, fuck this shit. This shit sucks. But I knew if I did that, I probably would not come back. Probably would not come back. And I remember one time she said when he was sleeping on her chest, she said, Joe, I know I'm allowed to put up with, but thank you for staying. Thank you for staying, Joe. And I held him in my arms and I cried because it was hard, but I said I did it. Nobody else did it for me. I did that. There's nothing like holding your own. You remember what that felt like, Kane? When you held your son in your arms for the first time? There's
That's a
there's
fact.
no other feeling. There is no other feeling that you will ever have. I'm pretty sure D. Darrell felt the same way when he held his child. You remember that feeling, D. Darrell? We've all had the
Sir.
bailout. We've all had the bailout plan that, you know what, while she's laying there asleep, we all thought, damn, anytime we could have walked out. So I passed it over to D. Darrell. I'm just being real. Listen, y'all, I ain't trying to show y'all. I'm just telling y'all BMP on real. So
All right.
pass it over to my brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I'd like to say hello to everybody on the panel, everybody listening, viewers in the clouds and so forth. When I look at this topic, I look at it from several perspectives. One, you have to look at it generally from just an American cultural perspective. As a whole, as a people, and as a community, as a nation, for the most part, for the most part, we don't raise or talk to our daughters and our sons the same way about this issue in regards to marriage, dating. The expectations are different. American culture gives their sons a lot more freedom to make mistakes, and we're far more conservative with the females, far more conservative. Now, as it relates to the Black community, these are the trends that I have pretty much observed, pretty much from a societal standpoint, from a clinical standpoint, is that at the time when I was growing up, as far as myself, um, my sisters were not allowed to do half the stuff that I did as a teenager. I had a car my last year of high school. Didn't talk to me about, you know, uh, dating a whole bunch of girls before you decide to get married, or not settling down yet until you do this and do that and so forth. But the same message was not given to my sisters. I had three older sisters. My sisters were told that you need to be very, very, careful of who you date, and you don't need to be messing around. You also got to look at the fact that when guys mess around and do stuff, there's nothing done to their reputation. You know, when girls do it, they have a negative connotation and reputation that follows. And as a society, we understand that, because that not just about how you're preparing your children, not just for what you think and so forth, but also in relation to how society will view them or the community will view them. Now, in the Black community, I look at it from several different perspectives, and a lot on YouTube when people talk about the a lot of the superficial relationships between women and men in our community. It's coming from a very urban perspective, and a lot of us did grow up in an urban or city like community and so forth, or in a city, so the perspective is very different. For myself, I can't relate to some of this stuff because I didn't grow up in those kind of communities. I grew up in a very small conservative town, and the areas that I grew up in Louisiana were very similar, and so I could understand Brother Speak saying, particularly if he grew up in Houston, which I think he did, that he probably did grow up hearing that you need to be independent. But if you're from lesser, metropolitan areas and more suburban or even rural areas, that's generally not stated in rural, particularly rural areas, where I know for a fact, and even to this day, I hear people pushing marriage, but they're pushing it in a different perspective. And in the perspective, but particularly in the last 10 to 15 years, is that is more or less of grooming your daughter to have value so that she can get married. And for the son, we want you to basically be free sexually and do things and experience things so that you can get that out of your system before you become married. And even in counseling sessions and so forth, when I see the differences in regards to parenting and differences between the ages of the parent, what you got to understand now, one of the biggest factors that contribute to that is the fact that you got younger parents, as opposed to you having parents back then that were probably 25, 35 years older than you. But now, you have a 12-year-old that has a 28-year-old, 28-year-old mother who's young herself and lack of a father to also provide a certain level of perspective from the masculine standpoint. So there is truth to it. What I can say is that marriage is still pushed in here, but it's not at the percentage that it was years ago. I think that it is brought up. It's not it may not be like, as strongly pushed as say 30, 40 years ago, but it's still there. The conversations are there. I have single mothers that I see all the time and so forth. They want their sons to be married, but even though they may say that, and they'll tell their son that because they want their sons to be effective, productive men and good men, but they'll still be far more lenient as far as their sons going on dates, hanging out, having multiple girlfriends and stuff like that. I mean, I've had issues where a mother had an identical situation between her. She had a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old daughter. 15-year-old son, 16-year-old daughter. She got upset that her daughter was dating two different guys, but her son had like five different girls that he was having sex with. She was highly upset with her daughter. Told her this, that, you don't need to be doing that. What kind of female are you? What kind of woman you gonna grow up into? You know what you did for her son? You make sure you use these condoms. You make sure you don't catch nothing and don't get any of these girls pregnant. Stuff like that. This happens. This is enriched in enriched in our community. This is the conversations that happen, and for the most part, I attempt to try to teach and educate on, if we want better black men, we're going to have to teach them to be more conservative sexually. We're going to have to teach them that no, it's not okay to go pumping and dumping 6, 7 girls and all this other different craziness, and it doesn't make you manly doing that. Because in other communities, even though it's not, I'm going to say it's not reinforced as highly, even though it is at some point, at certain points. But they don't, they teach marriage a lot more, uh, and go more into detail as far as the day-to-day conversation in regards to culturally the importance, and also the value of being married. They teach the value of it from a long-term perspective a lot more than and a lot more effective than than our community does. That's just my perspective. I mean, again, you can take a look at things. I know we can all look at our own personal experience, but over the last 20 years, that's pretty much what I've observed from a personal standpoint.
May I say something real quick because I got to go to work. Also, we also need to consider that many times the men are expected to be more sexually experienced than the women anyway. Even if the boy's a virgin, the girl's a virgin. the girl is expecting the boy to know more sexually than the girl. So that's another thing that is overlooked. That's probably that's why guys get clowned if they're a virgin. Girls can get praised. Even back in the day, they get praised for being virgins. Guys get clowned for being virgins. That's what guys would literally lie about their sexual experience with the girl, even though he might know less than the girl do. But if he let that be known, he gets clowned. So that's a mindset that nobody wants to talk about, So anyway, I got to get to work. Thank y'all for having me on the
No,
panel.
that's good. But I got a question.
Yeah,
How many guys do you think have herpes by the time they find the girl that they actually care about or love?
considering the STD rate is high, supposedly with Black women, where I believe that not.
Out of five, how many guys do you think have herpes? At 1 out of 5.
I would say probably two out of 5.
Mm.
Mainly because it just on science, it's harder for a man to get something because his genitalia is covered with skin, as opposed to a woman is open. So that's the only thing that's why I would say it's probably 2 out of 5. That's the only thing. But anyway, let me get to work. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, brother. If I were to tell y'all, more men are carrying more STIs than ever, y'all would not know how to take that. That's not something I had to guess on. I had to sit in the class and talk to a bunch of soldiers, because they think that, well, it's going to show faster for the woman because she has to go to the OBGYN. Like, well-known fact, you know how many guys have trichomoniasis and don't even know they got it? That doesn't even show with a man. Females, it's a lot more quicker to find out. But a man, you won't ever find that out unless they go get checked. Herpes. A lot of dudes have herpes. Just like women. I know y'all think I'm picking at this stuff, but I'm telling y'all right now that when it comes towards dealing with the we're built for war, shit, I don't know about that because most men are too emotional. But I definitely want to tackle that when it comes down towards, I can't tell you how many. I've met more females that have told me that they were given stuff by men more than men saying that a woman gave them something. That's a fact. That's a fact. The stud always passes more shit than the women. Because he can fuck as many women, he can probably fuck up to 4 women in one day. Tell me where I'm lying. And I'm not, I'm being honest, but that's something that we don't want to actually acknowledge. The stud can pass on the burn onto a lot of females.
Yeah, but it goes back to the immaturity that we was talking about earlier, and to D. Durrell's point, how boys and girls, they're treated differently. For girls, and Faith said it too, with girls, you have to be a certain way where the men kind of get to roam and kind of soil their royal oats, so to speak. And while they're doing that, through trial and error, there are infections or diseases that possibly could be passed around. And they're not going to know because most men don't go to the doctor as much as women do. So that, I think men do have to teach these young boys coming up about the importance of sex, the risk of STIs and STDs, and you have to be careful out here. And you also have to teach marriage. Brother Speaks made a point about how, young boys would get clowned because they're not virgins. And that's true. So what that means is that the men, when it comes to the boys, the men have to change that and turn it around. Because even when we talk about situations of, let's say, molestation, right? If you have an older woman propositioning a young boy, let's say she's 26 and he's like 15, she's not going to be treated the same way as if a man was to do it to a girl. What happens is the men would normally say, man, I've been trying to fuck Gladys for 2 years, man. You done got that old pussy? That's my nigga. See, they'll get praises for that. That's like a rites of passage, even though that young boy, he got violated. But some of these older men don't look at it that way. So I say the men have to change. They have to change that. You have to be more mature when it comes to teaching these boys, because these boys are going to grow into men. And if you as a man was loose with your dick, you're going to probably teach your son or other boys to do the same thing. And we're going to keep having this cycle of sexual immaturity. Now for the women, yeah, the mothers are doing the right thing by saying, look, what type of woman are you going to be by having sex with all these different types of men? See, mothers raise their daughters. They raise their daughters. I mean, we know coming out the womb we gotta be independent, because that's what we've been taught. The boys, on the other hand, have been coddled by their mothers. You got grown men now, 35 years old, living with their mama. Oh, that's my baby, that's my boy. The men are not gonna fly right until, number one, the mothers tell the truth. And the men also tell the truth to these boys. So these boys are the leaders, the future leaders of the community. So if they not flying right, we ain't going nowhere. Everybody would just do their own individual thing. So we got to get serious about sex. We have to be serious about our image. And we have to be honest with these children, because we're going, they're coming. We're leaving this world because we're getting older, and these children are coming in. We got to start teaching them now the basics of marriage and sex and STDs and STIs. If not, this cycle is going to continue. At some point, we got to cut this off at the head.
So now let's click at that. Are some mothers encouraging their sons' behavior about baby making, and you know what I'm saying? I want to know that. Is that really happening? That some mothers are encouraging their sons down for that? Like that, or that's not a thing? But that sounds pretty interesting. If the mothers are encouraging their sons, but literally the sons are waging a war against single mothers, but the mothers are encouraging and protecting their sons with the buffoonery. Or am I overthinking that?
No, you're not. Sadly, you're not overthinking that. You do have some mothers out here who do look.
Be careful of wisdom. You about to tell on the sisterhood.
No. Because sisterhood is more than just putting a crown on your head. It's about accountability too. Some of these mothers do encourage this type of behavior. My sons, for at one point is, well, we have these men ain't shit. These men ain't taking care of these kids. But your son out here having all of these sex partners, and it's like, oh, my son up here breaking these girls' heart. I gotta be cursing these girls out. Stop calling my house for my son. My son don't want you. You do have mothers that are like that. Like my son, he breaking hearts around here. You got some mothers that do brag about that. But when it comes to their daughters, you little bitch, you do have some mothers that's encouraging the behaviors to engage in the fuckery. They do. Hell, some mothers even encourage their daughters to do it. You know what I mean? Get that bag, get them. So it's a thing. It's not the majority. Of course, it's not the majority, but you do have some out here who do display questionable behaviors in how they raise their children. You could raise one daughter to get, to get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, get these niggas for what they got. And then on the other hand, my son a heartbreaker. He up here breaking the hearts of these girls. I had to get these girls off the phone. Leave my son alone.
Yeah, I've seen that before. That was
You know?
that's very interesting. I do see
I would
that
say.
where there have been some women and also some men that have encouraged. You know what I'm saying? I know my son, like I gotta use
Go get them.
Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates has he had a video where he has his son looks a certain type of way. Where his son looks, his son looks like a girl. However, whenever people say, "Hey, just that's a your son looks cute," he'll say, "I got a big dick." This is what Kevin Gates tells his son to tell grown adult, "I got a big dick." And I'm looking at it like, what? Like, are we here?
But was it not? But quick question though. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it not Boosie that had strippers giving lap dances to his son and giving him head?
Yeah, they were having whole orgies. They were having
Yeah. So, to your point, you got fathers out here who will encourage the fuckery as well. How would you, as a grown man, as a father, allow older women to twerk on your son and then give them head? And it goes back to what Brother Speaks was saying about how boys would get clowned for being virgins and how the men in the community treat, don't look at these things the way they should. Like what Boosie did with his son, that's a violation. How does he know his sons was even comfortable doing that as teenagers? That's a violation. But for you, oh nah, this is a rites of passage for my son. He giving head. Like that's what I'm saying. With our community, it's a sick immaturity that's going on around here, and people want to come up and want to try to be all pious and shit about we got a single mother problem and all this. But it's like look at the behaviors that's being condoned right in our faces, and these same people want to turn around and act all pious, and it's like I don't get it.
What do you think of Jay? Are you there? I think Jay is working. She's probably doing her typing. Faith, let me get it over to Kane. I do apologize, Kane. Kane, what do you think about everything that's been going down about this? Because we're seeing a lot of stuff starting to come out off the cuff with, what I'm saying, that some adults are encouraging their kids, what I'm saying, to, hey, get out there, get in these guts. What I'm saying? Boosie was taking his sons to go get slop, and he would join in, and they would have sex together with that one woman. What I'm saying? I don't know what kind of sick, demented world that is. Well, but that's pedophilia on a whole high level. Some mothers, I think there was a video or a few pictures going around. A woman bought her teenage son some doggone some strippers for him and his friends. But she didn't want no, she didn't want no gay son. So are some parents to make sure that their children are proficient, that they walk them into this type of furnace? I'm not sure. Can anybody hear Kane?
Oh, you was
I
asking me
can
that
hear you.
question? My bad. You hear me? You hear me? You hear me, BMT? You're absolutely right, and that goes back to like the '80s and '90s situation. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I sound like
Yeah,
I'm
we can hear you.
bugging. Okay,
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
that goes that goes back to the '80s and '90s situation with the teen pregnancy thing. That's where it was the big boom where girls were just having babies because their friend had one. It wasn't no thought of I'm trying to have a family. And I remember growing up in this and seeing it run rapid. So now you get to this generation where those are the mothers of these people, the guys that's complaining right now the way things is going. Because the mothers is young, like D. Durrell said earlier. The mothers is young. They still trying to compete with their kids, as in living life, being out there balling, and this is why you see it in the mainstream media and the shows that come on. This is why these shows is being based on what's really happening out here. There's a bunch of young mothers that's still out there trying to be out there playing, so they showing their kids the same shit. They're raising their kids under the same type of low mind frame. Like you see it every day.
Mm-hmm. Like, I, um,
You see it. Every,
I don't know. Like, the thing about it is, and I remember Faith was talking to one time. She was talking about how she was reared up in a traditional setting. I remember we was talking about how we were reared up in a traditional setting where the girls were taught to cook, clean, wash dishes, X, Y, and Z. Boys had to be out there with the dad working on certain types of projects. Now, I feel like we're doing more crash courses on sex, proficiency in sex. I'm gonna pass it over to Faith. What's going on, Faith? You know what I'm saying? We about at 3 hours,
Yeah,
so we about to wrap up.
absolutely. I was trying to respect the time frame earlier. That's why I
No, no,
jumped
no. You
down.
good?
But
You
since
good? You good? We at the 3 hour. We at the 3 hour. You know what I'm saying? The man just said, "Go ahead." Since we came in early, we at the 3 hour. You're doing the damn thing.
well, yeah, you're absolutely right. When I was growing up, I had to iron my school clothes. I had to iron my brother's school clothes too, and my brother was older than me. So, it was like a totally different message that I got within my own household, where women had certain roles and the men in the household, the boys in the household had certain roles that they had to do. My brother had to work outside with my dad, as far as fixing things around the house, shoveling snow, raking leaves. That was his job. Inside the house, the women kept everything clean. We ironed clothes, we washed, we cooked or whatever. And so that's how I grew up. But I noticed growing up, everybody's household was not like mine, no. And that was what they was so frustrating for me as a little girl growing up, because I saw other little girls get to be free, get to be kids, and different things of that nature, and they didn't have all of the traditional, things placed on them that I had. And so growing up, we saw certain things like outside of my household. I saw women having children out of wedlock and then later on getting married. And a lot of girls in the community saw that. That was the social conditioning. Little boys in the community were pretty much, it was pushed on them to get as many women as they possibly can in the bed. It was a sexual thing, a sexual conquest for the boys, to bag as many women as possible. And that was the overall message in the social conditioning. And see, this is where I have a problem with people saying it's just the culture. We accept a lot of dysfunction as being just the culture. You might have 1 out of 10 households like my parents' household on the block, but the other 9 households look like, hey, you're a single mother first, then you might get married, or you may never get married. That was
absolutely.
basically the culture. And so now, the reason why I came on here and said the girls are getting a completely different message in majority of our households than the boys is because even though there was a lot of single motherhood in the community, most of the girls wanted to be brides. Okay, I wanted to be a bride. Most of my friends wanted to be a bride. Now, I was also taught how to be a wife and mother, whereas all the other little girls in the community were not being taught also how to be wife and mother, but they wanted to be brides. They knew they wanted to walk down the aisle, but they weren't being given the tools to be wife and mothers. So there's a difference. That's why I say majority of Black women are marriage minded. Whether they are wifey material is a whole nother story. Whereas most of the boys in the community are not marriage minded. From the gate, they're just taught to just, hey, we just want to get as much, PUSSY as possible, but they're not really put in the frame of being fathers, husbands, family men. They're never, ever hardly pushed in that direction. So we have to change the social conditioning if we want more marriage-minded people in our communities.
So why are we not teaching men to be husbands as much as we're teaching women to be wives?
That's no,
Good
I wanted to know
question.
that. I wanted to, yeah, I want. Let's see.
Because there's not enough men in the household to do so.
Well, where are the men?
See, that's the thing
Out
about it.
Running
carrying
for
out
their
the
life.
same dysfunctional behavior.
See,
They're running. They're
that's
running
the thing
away.
about it. Let's click at this now,
And
because
Joe, you know you're encroaching on 3 hours, but I'm just saying.
I know, and it's about to end. Because I'm gonna have to make that a segue for another time. Because when we look at it, where saying I want you to have my baby, and the woman says I want to have your baby, I'm just being honest that literally we keep hearing all these dudes coming online saying, we hear a lot of dudes coming online saying that, they want patriarchy back. I gotta be for real. The first patriarchy you might ever get to see is in your home. Fact.
But see, I think the issue is, and like you said, this might be a whole other topic, but I think that, and I'm sorry, I just came back on, so I caught like the tail end of what Faith was saying,
You
but
did.
like, but like it's almost like men in these spaces specifically, they think that patriarchy is like the only thing, like, oh, I'm the man of the house and the head of the household. Okay, but like there's so much more than just that to marriage. Like, but when I come in these spaces, it's like all I hear about is patriarchy and submission. So if I didn't know any better, I would just think the only thing to a marriage is, the man rules the household and the woman bows down. Like that's basically what they want. But marriage is so much more. Like it's so much.
You know what? This is something I just thought about. Wouldn't you think in this particular space for guys that want femininity and cooperation and submissiveness, wouldn't you think they would listen to the actual men that are actually married that have that instead of
Oh
men
hell no.
who don't
We
have
don't get no
who
yeah.
can't even get a girlfriend and claim that they want this and want that?
Those ain't high
I just
value
want that
men.
for food for thought.
Those are
You would think
high value men.
you would definitely think they would listen to men who actually are married and have a family to get your advice from. But then that goes to show you that it's really not about the Black family. It's not. And I think people confuse submission with subservience. These dudes want subservience. They don't want
Exactly. They
submission.
want slaves. They don't want
They,
wives.
they want slaves. They don't want the Black family that they're talking about. If you're talking about a financial abortion, that is the exact opposite of a Black family. So,
Well, that goes right back to the double standard that I was talking about, because these
yeah,
same men will tell women to listen to married women and don't listen to these old single brides and all this type of stuff. But then when it comes to them, they'll sit up here and listen to Kevin Samuels, who's been divorced twice and he's not married.
right. So, but it also goes back, Faith, to your point about how the girls are raised to be marriage minded,
Mm-hmm.
while the boys are not. And to D. Darrell's point, is because they out there doing the same dysfunctional behavior as some of these women. So we can't have a full thriving family if both sides are not taught on the same wavelength.
I gotta give the point to the females on this one. I gotta be fair, fellas, on this one. There are more female content creators teaching women how to be in the home Then there are men content creators teaching men how to get the home. I'm just saying, I don't even listen to those female content creators, but there are more of them showcasing and telling women, you know, hey, don't follow down this path. You should go do this. Trust me with this.
So
You
then I
know,
guess my third question would be as far as women content, you know, I hate that word females, Joe, but as far as women content creators, do you think, I mean, because there's ratchetry on both sides, but do you think that are there a lot of the more popular ones talking about ratchetry, like how you have some of the men?
the bigger female content creators actually are more so, I think, are telling women how to get married.
Okay, because you know
Telling women how to
I
get
don't
married.
be on here
The-
into that
no, no, no.
stuff like
I don't either. I don't either. But looking at
most of the stuff I watch on YouTube involves like I watch lately. I've been watching decomp videos, like when they come and clean up the place where a dead body was.
oh, I like
Uh,
that. I like
oh,
those
God.
videos.
Yeah, I watch like hair, makeup, stuff like that. Like I don't watch this controversial
Right.
stuff, so I don't
The,
really.
the bigger female content creators are more so. Actually, I'm gonna be for real. The bigger black content creators are family based.
Okay.
You don't believe me? If you don't believe me, go ahead and look it up.
No,
The
you're
biggest,
right.
the biggest black content creators are family based.
And I will say a lot of the videos that I do happen to come across just scrolling, a lot of them are like family. It's like family stuff, like men. It's like the whole family, like the man, the woman, and the kids or whatever, doing different things, living their life. Those are like usually the stuff, at least that comes up in my, you know, maybe that's just because that's my algorithm.
They dwarf Kevin Samuels. Like the ones with the men and the women, they dwarf what Kevin Samuels numbers does. Like easily. I'm sorry. So when y'all say that is the culture's dead, I'm like, outside of this space is dead, but the culture's definitely not dead when they talk about, because there you got whites and blacks watching whole black men and women families do things together, do pranks, jokes, talk about love, family, dads with their kids. Like that's the thing about it. Like that's what honestly, that's honestly the bedrock of what a lot of people push for. So, you know, you got to ask the question that is it that these people in these spaces want to see a dead family, or is it actually the people out there? Because people out there, that's what they like to. That's predominantly what this space of YouTube promotes. That's what YouTube promotes, is family orientated stuff, not no gender
Yes,
war.
James. Yes, James said you should be an expert in high value men by now after watching all all his videos.
You said
Yeah,
you
that,
oh,
Right.
come on.
this
An
show's
expert
starting to
in
get
high
stale.
value
Now he's
men.
talking about the
Like,
same thing over and over.
right.
Getting very stale.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just talking. I'm gonna tell you right now, family men don't talk about high value shit. We don't
No.
ever
I
say,
told
well,
you
I'm
I asked my boyfriend, you know, about that. And like for those of you that, you know, just putting my business out there, you know, we've been together 2 years. We're working towards marriage, whatever the case may be. But like I asked him about that. I said, what's a high value man? Or what's an alpha male? And he just look at me like I'm crazy. You know, what the fuck you talking about? Right. I always ask him. He was like, "You been watching YouTube again, huh?" That's it. Like nobody just talks like that.
Nobody outside of YouTube talks like this. I'm just sorry, but this is the dark web of weirdos and freaks. So you're going to be meeting dysfunctional people, and from the people that literally are trying to be balanced, it's almost like the normal people are the weird people, the dysfunctional people are the normal people.
Right.
That's
Right.
the
Exactly, man. Exactly.
that's what hurts.
Total truth there. Truth told.
I'm just being so
It does
Yeah,
seem like
that's why I got red pill therapy.
that's why
But that's but
it feels like the Twilight Zone in this space, though. It really
right.
does.
When
Like,
I first started with Joe, when Joe and I first got together, um, when I first started, he thought I was the crazy one.
yeah, I
He
did.
see,
I
he
know.
don't want to talk about that. He thought I was the crazy one.
No, that is fair. Let me turn on my camera for that. That is fair what she is saying. She said, Joe, give it time. You're going to see that I am the most normal person here. And then as time went on, these black dudes just kept making her right. Every time she said something, they just kept making her right. She said, this one's a man beater. This one's cheap. This one's this and that. She called all of them out and literally in real time. If I, like Love Wisdom would say, just shut up and listen. And I will always tell Jay, be quiet, Jay. Don't get over it. Don't get agitated. Just listen. And once I started to listen I just be quiet and listen.
Read between the lines.
And
It's
you will
not
read
what they.
between the
It's
lines.
not what they say, but it's what they say. Like right.
And then that's when I started listening to the men and the women. I said, wow, y'all need help.
yeah.
And that's
Well,
when I just started backing off. I just said, fuck it, y'all, no, I don't want to do this. When people started telling me having a family was the worst thing I could have done, I knew I was in a dark world. I
yeah.
was like, yo, this is a dark place.
Well, social media is where broken people become famous. If you really look at it, you got a lot of broken people in this space, and social media is their last hurrah. Like, if we don't make it on social media, we're done. And if they were to take away social media, I'm gonna be honest, these people will commit suicide because that's how in tune they are with it. You know what I mean? You have people with mental problems that are making bank online. And you have to ask yourself, you have these people that come on, whether they want to be high value, whether they want to be level up, and the list goes on. When you really listen to these people got problems. And they are popular because of trauma bonding. So they're able to attract people who got problems just like them. And it's a big smorgasbord. And what that means is, well, I ain't the one with the problem because they in the same place I am. So it's not just me. And that's how it becomes the deflections and the gaslighting, because it's more layers for them not to admit that they're a fuck up. Notice.
Yep. And that's why
It's
they
the
don't like me.
right. Notice it's the fuck ups that but it's really the fuck ups that got the biggest platforms though. Those are the biggest people talking are the fuck ups if you really look at it, because people with common sense and that's like fair and balanced, they really don't get the views and the likes that they should because they make too much sense. But the people who are failures in life, the people who got all these little Wakandan fantasies in their mind, these are the ones with the biggest platforms because they're selling you a fantasy. Now, when the fantasy don't work, oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's you. You ain't got to listen to me. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. This is how we end up being led by our loudest and our dumbest, by the way. And you know, we have all of these people that you just talked about, that you just described, like KS. I know y'all tired of hearing about him, but he sits up here and try to normalize the dysfunction all the time. I heard him once say on his platform, oh, it's not the A students that run things, it's the C students. We're the ones, the C and the D students run things. And he sit up there and he run that game and he made it sound so smooth. Like, yeah, you know what? The dummies, we the ones that run things. We supposed to be the one with the loudest voice. And I'm just sitting here like, wow, he just really, really ran that through. And people eat it up. They eat it up because, look, most of us are C&D students. And we don't respect the nerds. We don't. especially not in the Black community. We don't respect the nerd.
So
So the
don't.
people that have the know-how, the people that actually can tell us how to get from point A to point B, we telling them to sit down and be quiet.
Come on,
Let's
Faith.
let the dummies lead. This is how we end up being led by the loudest and dumbest.
I
Just be
think
loud
that's
and
the thing.
wrong.
I think that that's the reason why, and I want you to understand. Majority of the people that are composited of this network have time and tenure in their life. Of we're not looking at it. Spit all that pill shit. We're just telling you that this is just it is what it is. That literally, I've seen kids come out of a single parent home and be more functional than the child that has come out of a 2-parent home. I've seen the doggone what y'all call the 10 probably be the worst thing ever for that man. Versus that the man literally, you know what, or a woman saying, you know what, I'm comfortable being by myself. Or a man said, you know what, I can get my stuff together. I need to go get my stuff together. Like, y'all gotta understand, man. Like, we're actually trying to work with you. That's the thing I never understood. When we have these balanced conversations about things, y'all, I don't know why y'all keep saying that literally.
Can someone mute they mic?
Yeah, like now, like this is why it's getting harder for us to have the actual conversations on the political level. Because literally, when the biggest conversation is still on sex and baby mamas after 5 fucking years, rather than actually us talking about state taxes or what's going to happen, like stuff that we can control, that's when you should already wake up and say, yo, dog, like somebody is fucking around with our mental. And at this point, I'm not.
But a lot of times we're our own worst enemy. That's the thing about it. A lot of times people like to blame the man, the man in quotations. They like to blame the man. They like to blame the government. They like to blame single mothers and whatever they like to blame. But at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, it ain't whoever sits in the White House. It ain't, the state government, the local government, whoever you want to blame. It's you. We are literally our own worst enemy.
If you don't believe what me and Jay are saying, me and Jay have brought white people onto this panel and brought up the talking points of this space. And it is golden how they react. Like, white men are running the home and their women shut the fuck up. The old white dude's like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, my woman runs the house and
my boss.
I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, no.
Right. I have a very casual work environment. So I'm gonna tell you, my boss, she is about, if y'all know about the stereotypical Italian people from Jersey, you know where I'm going with that, Joe?
Yep.
She fits every version of that stereotype. She's about 5'1", 98 pounds with a sweater on, and probably will whoop your ass. She run that house. She run that man, and her man is Italian too. They both Italian. They both from Jersey. When I say she run that man, she'll come in. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. And he'll call her on the phone and she'll be cussing and carried up like, God damn. So I don't know where. And the same thing with one of my coworkers, the same shit. Her husband will call. I mean, I'm not saying cussing them out all the time, but I'm just saying for the sake of argument, you know what I mean? For the sake of this conversation. But it's like same thing. Her husband called like, what do you want? Why are you calling? And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, I thought they said on YouTube that white men be running their house, because I'm looking around and clearly ain't no white man running their house around here.
Right. Wait a minute, Miss J, you from Jersey?
No, I'm from Connecticut, but I live in Florida. It just so happens that my boss is from Jersey. So, like, because we're both from the north, like, we,
these books. these white men don't run their house. They bring home the check. Okay, they bring home the money.
Right.
But them
Yes.
women, no, them women run the house. But it goes back to being traditional, does it not? Where the women is the manager of the house. They control the dynamics of the house to make it peaceful. So they make sure the kids is good. They make sure the house is good, while the man, he provides so that the women and children have a place to stay. So when I hear this, we got to go back to patriarchy. I'm like, you do know what patriarchy actually means, right?
Right.
You know what that means. Like, okay, I remember comedian Jeff Brown said it, and I like what he said. He was like, at home, my wife's word is first, but my word is final.
Right.
You know, so it's the dynamic that men and women work together to make the household peaceful for what it is. Like, you can't sit up here and half-ass stuff. And when you come into this space, I ain't never met the most richest, brokest people in my life. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Everybody makes six figures. Everybody lives in, like, you know, a mansion. Everybody drives a luxury vehicle. Like,
I'm thinking everybody already got reparation. Everybody's 6-figure mark. I'm like, damn.
I'm trying to tell you.
How the fuck did y'all do it?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm
This
like,
is
oh.
this is what the internet created. The internet created a space where people could come here and lie.
I'm
And
like,
that's
oh,
basically what
I'm like,
happened.
where my check? Because I ain't getting no money.
right.
Everybody got reparations somehow that we missed that I did not know.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, most of them, but that's the thing, these ones that are speaking on this, and I mean, we kind of, you know, we're going around and around, but the ones that are speaking on this, trust, they probably live in it. Because remember, I said that to you the other day, Joe. I said, a lot of these dudes live in their mother's basement. They have to. Because I'm convinced, and I'm not even saying that as a diss, because, hey, you know, shit happens. But what I'm saying is, they clearly don't know how much rent costs. Because ain't no way you know how much a rent or a mortgage or groceries or a light bill, all of the stuff that comes along with living on your own. Clearly, you don't know how much that shit costs if you're not living on your own. For them to sit up there and say, oh, the woman, you know, like you said, the whole patriarchy thing and submission, y'all must not know that. Like, even here in Florida, like in the Tampa Bay area, and I was saying this yesterday, rent is on average about $1,200 a month. And I don't know, but most of the jobs that everybody can't possibly be making enough to be paying $1,200 on their own. Can't be. But I guess in these spaces, everybody is. So.
No, you definitely can't. In Jersey, in Jersey, average rent is $1,600, and in certain cases, like I'm paying like $1,904 a month for rent, and you don't know how much. They don't know how much this rent costs, and it's like, if you're a six-figured individual, why are you online all day? Like, I understand if you have a business, like an online business, yeah, but they don't have no business with you online all day. If you make it six figures, you ain't got time to be online. Like,
let me hang on. I'm gonna do y'all special. Hey, mom, you there? Hey, mom, how is it? You know, I mean, you drive truck. You know, you own your own business. Well, too. Uh, do you feel that literally you would probably be better suited if you stayed at home, let a man take care of you? Like, what's up with that? I mean, you from an older generation. Was that the dream that was paved to you, or were you told you should go work? You
She
just speak
probably
up, mom.
lying.
No one really gave us here's the way you should do life. It was just whatever you come up with in your own head, that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So for each person, our parents did not do a whole lot of talking as far as life and planning and things of that nature. I mean, we do more talking in my generation to our young people than our parents did to us.
But hold on, man. You came from the '60s when, you know, women and, you know, stay at home and braid hair, and, you know what I'm saying, you survived the crack era and all that stuff. And all that stuff.
We didn't have much at the time.
So
Our parents was taking that meat, trying to survive is living on minimum wage. So, and that was their main focus, keeping food on the table. Back in the days, you had big families.
Now, were women being told to be submissive?
They were expected.
Oh,
They weren't told. They were just expected because that's the way it was. I mean, you just remember now, we came through the rights, equal rights. I mean, rights. Black people have the right to the arrow.
right.
So we came through that era where it was it wasn't really a lot of options for women, especially black women. There weren't a lot of options. So as a wife, you knew that you were going to do whatever you needed to do to keep your food on the table, your children fed and clothed. And if you could work a minimum wage job, you were thankful for that job. You went to work, you just mind your business, and you did what you needed to do to raise your children. So that's how our parents did it. When we came up, we heard about liberal rights and freedom.
Wow. You never talk about that with with shout out to my sister Dee Dee. She got her own thing going, and a lot of the
I told her, I made sure that I told my daughter, make sure you can take care of yourself. That was my talk to her.
Whoa, Mommy. You told Dee Dee, make sure you can take care of yourself, not to just go be under some man?
That's what my mother told me.
Mommy, why would you say that?
I told her that because I wanted her to have a choice.
Feminist.
That means you can have a husband. Yes, I want you to have a husband. I want you to have a family. But in the same token, you need to know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, you can handle your business with or without a husband.
Not my mama. Lord have mercy. Mommy.
I wanted her to be self-sufficient. I wanted her to be a compliment to her husband, not a dependent.
But I thought y'all. Oh, hold up. I thought y'all women had it good being under a man. You know, he you know, you could.
Excuse me, the wrong terminology is.
I rebuke this spirit now.
I wanted her to have that choice. You know what? I want a husband, but I want to be his helpmate, not his dependent. I want to be by his side, not behind him.
So wait. So you're saying at the time, was women y'all were telling me y'all were coming up with the Equal Rights Act, that women y'all wanted to not be under the man, y'all wanted to be by your man, and you wanted. Okay. Now, do you feel that some men feel bitter that y'all are not under them?
Well, I think it's a bit ugly because I didn't raise my son to put anyone under their feet. I wanted him to see her as his soulmate, his helper, his go-to person. Whenever times I was in my corner with me 100%. That was what you choose.
She fading in and out.
She
Mommy.
I can't speak for the other women's daughters.
Black woman, it could be devastating to your personal life. So I get that in doing so.
Okay. Ma, I'm gonna set up a show with you where we're gonna have a sit down talk where you can talk with some of the ladies. But I think they would like to pick your brain. Is that okay? But I know you came up through the Equal Rights Act, and a lot of people have a lot of perception about black women were betraying the men and left the men to hang out high and dry. But you're talking about it that, hey, you wanted to be able to not be under, you want to walk with your man.
Right. She fading in and out.
Mom, Mom, you fading out, okay? I'm gonna talk to you later, okay?
All right.
Love you. Now, I want y'all to understand that is
But you know what? My mother
uh,
told me the same thing. Like my
right.
mother came up in the 60s. You know, she was born in 1947. She, like I said, she's been gone about 7 years now. But she came up. You know, she graduated high school in 1965, so she came up in the 60s and 70s, and she always told me the same thing. She told me the exact same thing. Yeah, is it great to have a man? Yeah. Is marriage great? Sure it is. But at the same time, you need to know how to take care of yourself. Period, point blank. And again,
Right.
people always leave out the part of, here, I have to say it, I always have to put my addendum in there. The reason that women stayed home is because they didn't have a choice back in those days. Anyway.
Right. Because my mother, she grew up in South Carolina, Jim Crow. She came to New Jersey in 1969 when she was 18. And she said to say the exact same thing. Like, marriage is a good thing, but we also had to learn how to be on our own. Like my grandmother died when my mother was 14 years old. And they had to learn how to be self-sufficient. My grandfather died when she was 2. So they had to be self-sufficient. They worked in the fields. Like they had to make, my aunts and uncles had to make their own money. They had to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. And that's what she taught me. Like, look, marriage is a good thing. Having a man around is great. But I also want you to learn how to be self-sufficient and stand on your own 2 feet. Just in case if something happens, you know what to do and not be wholly dependent on a man. So when people say this, well, Black women are raised to be strong and independent, they say that as if it's a bad thing. There's a difference between a woman who's raised to be, and I don't need no man, fuck all that. It's a difference between that and to where I was raised to be independent so I can learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. Standing on your own 2 feet is nothing wrong with that. Because God forbid if I'm married, well, let me just say this. God forbid when I get married and my husband, let's say, gets injured on the job and he's out for like 6 months.
You can be at home with him, love wisdom. You can be at home with him and be up and down with him and take care of him.
I mean, standing on your own 2 feet means that
Love don't pay the bills.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of the. I'm gonna
do.
take care of the
Love
finances.
does pay
I'm
bills.
gonna,
Love does not pay bills.
right. I'm gonna, manage the finances and manage the home and everything while you're recovering. I know how to stand on my own 2 feet. God forbid we get divorced. I got my money. I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet. I'm not sitting out there in the cold like, what do I do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, So salute to your mother, BMT, by the way.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna set up a show for y'all where y'all ladies can talk with her. I don't even like the word high value, but she would be.
Pretty sure you're gonna be
value.
called a simp, Joe, because you had your mommy on the show. You're a simp.
Man,
You're a simp, Joe.
them niggas can't afford my mom. That's a damn thing about it. Shit, I can't afford to live in her neighborhood. That woman lives with the boule white folks that own damn mansions and houses up there, castles up in up there. Y'all know them Northeast, them damn castles and shit.
Oh yeah.
My mom lives with them people, but she deserves that because she's done busting her ass and owns 10% of this town that I live in right now. And she said, Joe, I've been called everything else. But you know what crazy blew my mind? I had to fight more with my own black man than that white man.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Mom, you crazy.
It.
I said, all these black men, they would help you. She said, no. They wanted to rule me, JoJo. Not help me. They wanted me to be under them. Now, I'm going to tell you, now, y'all heard my mom. She said, I'm not going to be under no man. And she has her reasons for why she don't want to be under man. Now, the thing about it was she done bared 4 children. She pushed out 4 children. And she done had her time. She's married now. She just want to raise her grandchildren. She has her husband. and she has her trucking and all that stuff. But for the most part, she's set in her ways. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's no man in the manosphere that can tell her anything. I don't think most of y'all make anything close to what she made. And that's not stroking the ego. It's just that I've seen this woman make her fucking move.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it was, she said, "I watched."
It's
your
funny. I
father."
think they come to a. I think they come to a revelation as they get older. Because my father has said something. It's funny. Like my father said a few things like recently. I mean, like recently. And I don't know if it's the quarantine or maybe he's nesting. I don't know. But he's like, he said a lot of these dudes out here need to. He said the same thing. He said, I don't know why so many black men trying to rule these women. I don't know why they out here trying to rule these women. I'm like, yeah, sir.
To be fair, and I will tell you, maybe I'm going to speak for myself, but I'm sure Kane and Didero have heard it. We've all heard our women say something that made us perk up our eyebrow. Like, what did that woman just say? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, women be thinking, saying one thing to us, they be thinking 5 other steps about if shit goes south. I need to be ready. Every man should already know. Always be on your A game. But that woman is thinking of an exit strategy just in case shit hit the fan. I'm just being real, bro. They got exit strategy. My mom told you. Now is the era where women have options. Y'all heard her say out there her own mind. I didn't tell her to say that. She said back then we didn't have any options. We had to be with the man. Now I don't got to put up with your shit.
And I guess that's what, like, even my father, that's kind of what he was saying. He was like, I don't know. That's why he said what he said. Like, I don't know why these men think they're going to rule over women. Like, these women making more money than y'all. I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
That's why men date down. So that way she can't leave you.
Shut up, Joe.
You know what?
Date down. She can't leave you. So I'm gonna pass it over to wrap. I'm gonna pass it over to Didero. You heard from Mama BMT. I would definitely want y'all to be there to talk with her, pick her brain. She definitely believes in grassroots and building. I think y'all would have a good time talking with her.
But that's the thing that, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, I know you're wrapping up, but I was just gonna say that's the thing. People that actually really do believe that and really do be out there doing that in the stuff, they don't want to listen to them. That's the irony behind it. The folks that's really out there doing shit, it's like just like with you, like how you've helped brothers get jobs and this and that and the third, but in the next breath they're calling you a simp. It's like, wait, I thought you wanted to get married and have a family and learn how to do a resume or learn how to do this. Why are you calling me a simp?
That's the trick bag.
I accept. You know what? I can't tell you how many times I've gotten fed up with black people, and that same woman will say, "Be patient. Just be patient." Mm-hmm. They don't get it, but they'll get it later on. And I have to just say, okay. I've had to go have side conversations with Jay, side conversations with Kane, side conversations with Didero. Lord knows he be having to talk to me. I'd be ready to say, I'll kiss my black ass. I probably have to, as soon as I get love with the phone, I'm gonna have conversation and say, yo, y'all don't leave me alone. Trust me, there'd be times I'd be wanting to get on and just curse everybody the fuck out. I done had people try to do a lot. Huh? Oh yeah, there's been some people that try to do interesting things. But I'm
at the point I don't care, man. I'm saying any and everything. I don't care how rude I get. That's how you got to notice, man. My language is a lot more stronger than usual because I'm sick of these.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot. You've gotten more darker, but I've actually lessened up on them. So the roles have definitely switched when Didero has lost patience with y'all, but I'm gaining more patience with y'all, which actually makes me feel good. But that means the balance is shifting. So good. That means I get to be the good guy. Maybe
I've always been the crazy feminist.
Who might be one day say, "I'm done with you motherfuckers," and then I've
always been the crazy feminist. So
I get it. Look, I did this sometimes. Like if you listen to my commentary, you can tell when I'm fed up because it's more profanity. I start yelling because like I just get tired of the tug of war. It's like on one hand, I think Deidre, I think it was your last live, not the Saturday one, but the Sunday one.
Oh yeah, you just listen. Yeah.
I was just so annoyed because it's like y'all gotta pick a struggle and stick with it. Like you can't talk about the black family and then talk about financial abortion. It don't make sense. You can't talk about these bust downs talking about getting married, but you fucking impregnating the bust downs you complaining about right now. It's like, bro, like what do you want? What do you want? It's like, well,
Man.
the white
Oh, did
man,
I
you
say
know,
that out loud? Shit.
this what the white, this what the white man doing. Okay, so why you can't have your men's rights activist groups and try to fight for things? Because BMT made a good point. Well, let me tell you what this white man gonna do. He got his lawyers. He got his lawyers. He got his lawyers, and he gonna handle his business. It's like I'm tired of the stories and no plan of execution. If you believe that this white man is on your shoulders, breathing on your neck, then you gotta fight to get him off your neck. It's like, God damn, it's like stand on something. Everything can't be about a woman's panty line. Look, brothers, let me give y'all some advice. You know, if you invest in yourself, and put yourself as an asset, the better pussy will come your way. I'm gonna tell you why. A woman gets turned on when a man invests in himself. If a man invests in himself, then she knows that you will invest in her. Because a man that invests in himself, he don't want no liability. And he can sense a liability from a mile away. So the more you invest in yourself, the better the pussy would be. What happens is investing in yourself takes sacrifice. And these dudes don't want to sacrifice or compete to get the type of woman they want. So this is why they get the low hanging fruit because it's easy access. And don't know WAP turn a man on than WAP with low self esteem and vulnerable. You see what I'm saying? But when you invest in yourself,
Joe, we did
better
that show, remember?
the better woman is gonna come your way when you invest in yourself. Like this is not hard. Oh, high value man. High value man is an excuse to impress other men. It ain't got nothing to do with getting the best woman. It's just to impress other men. Why would you
It's a
want to
circle
impress
jerk.
another man? It's a circle jerk. You just don't want to make the sacrifices necessary to get the woman that you want. You would rather sit back and complain and every year pull out something different for you to deflect.
I agree. And yes, New York
Definitely right.
Outcast. I did tell my granny BMT that y'all said hello. That's why she was more than willing to talk on here. I'm gonna tell you right now, my mom does listen, and my father do listen. Now my dad, he hates y'all. He hates a lot of y'all men. Thinks y'all weird as fuck. My mom, she is just curious. She's curious. She's just a curious person. My dad gets irritated because he feels like, what the fuck was I getting sprayed with holes in my ass whooped for, and y'all niggas want to get out of the house? That is very contradictory to what the men were fighting for. If that makes any sense. They fought for the home. Now y'all want to say fuck the home and fuck the culture. That is contradictory. You know? And like I said, both of my parents are from, my dad's from the Jim Crow era. My mother
So
is
is my
from the
father.
equal civil rights era. So y'all can miss me with that shit of that I'm gonna teach you history. Nigga, I can just pick up the phone and go call history. I don't need Discovery
Right.
Channel. I don't need nigga
I don't
teaching
need
lessons on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Right.
I don't need YouTube. I could just go call the source. My mom was one of those kids in Boston that the state troopers had to take to school because they were getting threatened every day. So trust and believe. I don't need to ask people about women's suffrage movement. They were out there marching for women's rights. So good luck telling that woman that women don't need rights. She's gonna say you can kiss her ass. Well, she won't say that, but she'll say it in a more polite way. You just heard her say women didn't have rights when she was growing up. So you can understand it's gonna be hard to tell her financial abortion. She's gonna look at you crazy. She's gonna look at you real crazy for that one. I'm just being honest.
I think most men outside, again, like I said, men in my circle, like I said, I've asked men about it just for kicks, just to see what their answer was going to be. Men that are not on YouTube. And they're like, what the fuck is you even talking? Again, they're always like, what? What do you mean financial abortion? And I'll explain it to them. They're like, wait, so you basically telling me if I nut in a chick, regardless if she a hoe or whatever she may be, that you want? I was like, yes. Like, what? You can't do that. I'm like, apparently it's a thing.
I did started looking up the Southern Poverty Law thing against my best interest for like how D. Darrell said. You guys be ready. They're writing up study paperwork on us. I don't know who's writing these papers.
But that's the thing. Like, oh, she just slid off. But what's her name? Faith? No, that wasn't Faith.
Love Wisdom.
Yeah, like Love Wisdom was saying, like they spend so much time on writing petitions for or like you said, writing up something that's never gonna come to fruition, first and foremost. Writing this stuff up instead of bettering themselves. That's not bettering yourself because it's not real.
That generation of blacks like her, they're still alive. Those are the old blacks, and you can ask Kane, D. Darrell, and Jay. Them are the blacks that have money. Good luck getting them to sign that shit. I'm just letting y'all know. These laws and these red pills and all this shit, you're gonna have a hard time convincing them blacks, that old black that have the money.
What you mean? Oh, you have a hard time convincing anyone over the age of 30 to sign.
What I'm saying, but those are the blacks that are established in society. Like they have more voice, like with like people in political seats. Them right there, you're not gonna be able to push that some of y'all stuff because they're gonna look at it like, no. Like we're set in our ways. No.
Nah, he said it was gonna be long and a hard process. You know, he said that they said that about slavery. They said it about everything else. You know, with no plan. I'm like, you got no plan. You ain't got no money. You the same Negroes that can't pay for a $25, $30 date. Then now how you gonna spend money to lobby for this? I'm like, come on, man. Like, stop.
But that's the thing. This is why, like I said way earlier, and I know we've gone on way too long. We kind of just kicking it at this point. But I said it way earlier. Basically, how they took out civics classes and they took out sex ed classes. So a lot of people don't know how law and legislation works. And I mean, even if you got this in front of your local Congress, I mean, that shit would get voted out. It would get thrown out. Like it's gonna get thrown out so fucking fast. I don't know what to think. How many bills? Don't you think they get random bills all the time, every day, every hour about bullshit? Most of that stuff gets thrown out.
I'm just being for real. Like
so, Joe, I'm gonna do the financial enforcement petition.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yeah.
The financial enforcement petition.
Let me know when you do. Like I said, I definitely want to sit down. We got to have I'm going to sit down and do I think we got to do an episode just explaining why we made BBN and why it's very much so needed, and what we're branding for and what we're pushing for. That's pretty much my next episode.
Did D. Darrell, is he in the other group? In the actual group or just on the page? Okay, because I'm not friends. I'm not friends with most of these folks, so
I gotta make sure that they're all in the group. Shout out to Jay for making the group for us. Lord knows I did not know how to do none of that shit, but I definitely know how to go grab the people that we need. And again, the group is made to be balanced and fair. Like we don't placate to just women and just men, but we try to look for a balanced solution. And a lot of people, I know y'all think that no, like you don't care about the men. That's not true. Like I very much so do. That's why I made BMT. But I'm also fair where I also care about the mindset of also the women. I'm sorry. I want to know what's going on with my women. So you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I have women living in my house. So I'm not gonna just make content but not care about my women. So a lot of y'all guys keep asking me, why you make content that also goes to women? Because I'm a man.
It's like it's almost like we're 8 years old. Like you can't get in the same box with me, man. Shut the fuck
up. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like y'all, I'm gonna right out say that. Some of y'all, I just think y'all gay. Some of y'all, I just think y'all gay. I don't feel like just always talking to men all the fucking time. I don't feel like always talking to men.
I've already stated that incels and down low Negroes.
I talk to both genders, and we can have a whole conversation. I'm sorry, I don't. Like I said, I could talk. I've been able for a long time.
Clever Kev said men don't have these spaces for men's empowerment. You know what, Kev? You are partially right. And I think what ends up with men's, I notice a lot of times with men's empowerment. I'm gonna tell you, you want to know what women talk about in those closed groups for women? We talk about hair, make. We don't talk about the shit y'all talk about like in this YouTube shit. Like most of the women's empowerment groups I'm in, 9 times out of 10, we talk about like hair, makeup, food, like stuff to do around the house. Oh, like, you know, I went to the store. Oh my God, I saw this like great picture frame. This is what this is the shit we talk about. I mean, sometimes, yeah, we do talk about men. Yeah, men suck. Like, but 90% of the content in the group and like those non-troll type groups, like the real women empowerment groups, 90% of the content is just about general stuff. Like I said, work, home, our kids.
Business.
Like we're not even talking about men like that. And I don't think you're right. You know what, Kev? You are partially right. I feel like some, in general, just from what I've heard, a lot of the men's quote unquote empowerment groups tend to be a lot of bitching about women. And that's the difference.
All the time.
We hardly ever talk about, I'm in a few of these women's empowering groups. We hardly ever talk about men. That's the funny thing about it. We hardly ever talk about men.
I just, like I said, y'all, I'm all for business. And I'm just telling y'all, whenever I gotta deal with these women, listen, the main thing that they ask me about is how do you shoot a gun? Oh, how do you do this, BMT? Okay. All right, now get out of our club. Damn. Y'all just need me. That's all they call me for. Information, and then they'll take it from there. The women really don't give a shit. They know. I'm gonna tell you right now. The women are getting into. I'm gonna do that talk later. I need to shut it down.
Yeah.
But y'all, brothers, we need
I know
to
it's
get
almost
our
like we're
mind
just
off
on the phone at the moment. Like I'm not even like really. I'm working, so I'm just like chatting it up.
Right. You guys, like I said, Mimi left and went to go take care of business. She's like, I got other jobs I got to go do. You know what I'm saying? My black ass is still here. You know, I can be at home and work at home. You know what I'm saying? But I got to be for real, y'all. We got to start. We got to change up the agenda of what we're shooting for.
Right, and like like Love Wisdom was saying, like at the end of the day, if you improve on yourself, if you working on, if you just talking about stuff, like I said in my case, like I said, the groups I'm in where we're just talking about hair, makeup, shit like that. If there were probably more groups like that, then maybe men might actually get somewhere with women, because you're not constantly thinking about women. You shouldn't be constantly thinking about the opposite sex, constantly. And I mean, and to be fair, there are a few groups out there, because like a few of my friends, male friends, they talk about car shit, or like rap or hip hop. They not. That's why I said these spaces are weird, man.
This is what incels do. They talk about what they
hopefully we'll get.
So anyway,
hopefully we'll get it together. But you're wrapping it up. We thank you guys for hitting us up. Thank you guys for sitting with the family. You guys, we'll see you guys later. Y'all take care. And definitely, we can't wait to come back later. I am going to be doing a movie review sometime later this week. I
Oh, what
cannot
movie?
wait. One bedroom. One bedroom.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
One bedroom. If y'all would like to take part in the movie review, let me know. Kev, I would like for you to join us for the movie review because you are a huge movie critic. Also, another movie that we have to review over is Vampires in the Bronx for the Halloween special. I really feel like that movie is goddamn The Lost Boys, but y'all don't hate me. I goddamn it. The Lost Boys will always be a classic to me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I should have been a Lost Boy. But we're gonna go ahead and do that. I will talk to Clever Kev, you know what I'm saying? And definitely we're gonna definitely set up a movie review panel. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Y'all have a good day.
All right, brother.
Bye.